And welcome back to MD Global Muscle Radio here at the Pop Media Studios, joined by my co-host AJ, all the way from Norway. AJ, episode 31.
Finally,
we're back.
Global Muscle has come back to Wigan.
Oh, you hurt my ears there, mate.
Oh, it was horrible last episode.
Why?
Sitting on Skype.
I'm not feeling it, Chris.
I'm not feeling it at all. It was horrible.
5 times you said that.
People had enough of Phil Heath now, don't they?
I miss him.
Oh, people are so tired of us talking about Phil Heath now. We have to move on now.
Sorry, who's that Phil Heath you're talking about?
We have to move on. It's time to move on now. It's time to move on.
We have to move on.
We have to move on because we got a lot of haters like, Giles, can you please stop talking about Phil? AJ, please, I had it with Phil now. Please.
But we love him.
So we listen to you, the audience. We will move on.
Yeah.
So we haven't been in the studio for how long now?
37 weeks.
When were we last in the studio, all three together?
Well, technically, when I came...
No, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
So it's been 5 weeks?
5 weeks, something like that.
Can't remember.
Oh, I can't remember. It was before the tour, wasn't it? And we did...
it was a great tour, though.
We did.
It was a really good tour, even though we're not allowed to speak about it.
Go and watch episode 13. You can see all the action unfold. So, yeah, it was good to be back, though, AJ. Really good to be back.
Good to be back. I got my new Burberry shades on.
I'm not feeling those shades.
Are you not... Chris, you're not feeling the Burberry shades?
Do they make them for men?
Ah, yes! I was going to say they look like girl shades. AJ. AJ, Chris, you're going to see AJ's favourite wrestling move now.
He said, do they make them for men? It's Italian. It's for unisex. I go both ways. Just
It's like Chris's t-shirt's coming a medium. No, I got it wrong there.
So we got a lot of bodybuilding talk. A lot has
changed as well.
So we're gonna go through Tampa Pro really.
So we're going straight into bodybuilding talk.
We're going straight. No, we're just telling the audience at home. We're going to go through Tampa Pro really good.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through Vancouver and the Portugal Pro quick.
Portugal, yeah.
And then obviously the what can I say? The saddest story while we were gone. And people haven't heard our opinions on it yet.
Oh, yeah.
We got to talk about the Shawn Rhoden thing.
Yeah, the Shawn Rhoden situation. Yeah. That news broke on, was it day 4 of the tour?
Obviously, we knew since October.
No, it didn't even happen. It supposedly happened until December, November.
So it was October, November, I think it was.
Yeah, we didn't know then. We weren't even doing the show then, AJ.
In December, we knew it.
No, it was a bit later.
January. I knew it in at least December. Somebody told me on DM.
Okay, well, sake of argument, so, where do we begin on that one?
Should we do that first?
Yeah, let's talk about it because...
Okay, so what happened? We were in the UK.
Yeah, we're on the Global Muscle, obviously the Phil Heath tour, and we knew about this. We knew about this accusation and everything. We didn't say anything to anyone because we were asked not to, and obviously it's a very sensitive subject, so we kept it to ourselves. And
why? I know. Why did you keep it to yourself?
Well, because you can't release news like that when it's...
Everybody else did.
No, they didn't.
Know what I mean? Like, as soon as they know it, they start making clickbait videos about it and making profit about it, and
because the news was actually released, and plus it's a legal case as well. So it's like I speak to Shawn Rhoden fairly regularly. Actually, I don't speak to him, but we've messaged back a few times because, to be honest, I reached out a couple of weeks ago because I said to him, I feel a bit ashamed of the bodybuilding media, the way it's kind of like when the news broke, it was like blitzed. The whole
TMC
everywhere was just going after it, and it was like really sensational. It was all kind of to get clicks, and I just thought, you know what? I feel ashamed of what I'm seeing because it's like people are reveling in the fact that there's this huge news, but it's about something that could potentially ruin more than someone's bodybuilding career. And how can I put this?
People were so happy reporting about it.
That's my point.
And people who knows Rhoden, who know Rhoden.
Yeah.
People who he's worked with, people who's put him on the show, and they're so happy about that they can speak about it.
Excited doing videos about it and stuff.
They're really happy, like pumped for it. It's just so...
I don't like that. I mean, we were traveling, so we kind of... for those few days, I only got to see a glimmer of it. But what I saw actually really deeply upset me. I was just like... And then it played on my conscience. And a couple of weeks later, I just thought, you know what? I'm going to message him and say, look, just Shawn. I said, You see, in the UK, the justice system, you are innocent. You should treat someone innocent until they are proven guilty.
Yeah, but when you're black, it's not the same,
Well, I'm not black.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's how it works in the world.
What do you mean?
If you're accused by a white woman and you're a black man, it's not going to be good, They're not going to wait until you've been to court.
Oh, I see your point. Right, okay. Yeah. So I just said, look, I spoke to him as if he's an innocent guy because, I won't even say my personal feeling. I do think he is.
I don't know nothing about it, so I don't.
Yeah, and to be honest, I know very little, but my instincts are telling me that he is. But if he is, then his life and his career is effectively over.
What do you mean your instincts are telling you he is? In what way does your instinct tell you he is?
I can't. I have a gut feeling. Okay. I have a gut feeling, but and I reached out to him on this one, and I said, I think it's a bit disgraceful. I said, just want to let you know that you've got my support. And just I've been sending messages to say stay positive and stay strong and everything like that, and hopefully. And he said because he told me, and I didn't release this either. He told me, he says, Giles, I'm still prepping for the Olympia. And then the next day it started coming out, but I didn't say anything anywhere because I thought, well, I don't think you can do the Olympia, mate, because they've AMI, and I understand why, because I've actually spoke to Dan Solomon about this from AMI, and he gave a kind of detailed answer of why they chose to not let him do the Olympia this year or until the case is over.
For people at home, he's not banned forever.
It's just until the case is over.
He's banned until the case is settled.
Exactly.
Then we will see what happens.
Now, obviously, that this is the current Mr. Olympia, and he is not allowed to come back and compete until this is sorted. And that's the current Mr. Olympia who can't now go up and defend his title. Something that he's working around, something his earnings depend upon. So I felt that was, but Dan actually gave his explanation of, look, this is part of a huge company. He said the readership of the publishing that AMI own. He said 80% of women. He mentioned the Me Too campaign. He said this is something we need to step away from. So for you've got shareholders, and he gave the kind of the detailed reasons of why this decision was made. They said it wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't an easy decision, but they felt this was the right thing to do in the current circumstances with until this is settled. So they felt that they wouldn't. They didn't feel it was appropriate. But I can see both sides. I'm in sympathy with Shawn, and I'm also in sympathy with AMI. So I do. I mean, what do you think?
I don't know Shawn Rhoden at all.
Yeah.
And even if I knew him, you can never know what happened. I just think it's...
Also, I don't want to talk about the case because I know limited amounts, and I don't want to speak about something that I don't know the full facts on.
No, so we don't want to blame the woman or the man. We don't know anything.
Yeah.
So so all I know that it's must be really tough for the woman and for the man.
Yes.
So
very much.
And for Olympia. And for the fans, for the kids, to the people involved, to the husband and wife and whatever, all the people. It's very tough.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted by the bodybuilding media.
Absolutely.
We don't want to mention the names because they know who you are. Yeah. Trolling around for clicks.
Yeah.
It's very sad. You should be ashamed by yourself, by the way.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
It is, especially with the industry. There isn't a little bit of... It seems to thrive on drama at the moment. And I feel like, we're 6-7 weeks out from the Olympia now, and I feel like there's so much emphasis placed upon drama and clickbait. And it really, for someone who's been following the sport since 1990, AJ, that's very upsetting to see, because I'm someone who, like yourself, we truly love the sport. We were here for the athletes. We're here to promote them.
Yeah, let's go through the other drama things. So just with the Rhoden...
Yeah.
I personally don't take sides with nobody.
Yeah.
It's a sad situation for all people involved. It's just really sad, and there's not much. That's why there's not much we can say about it. What can I say? If it's true, if it's not true, we won't know until after the case. Yeah. You said you feel he's innocent.
Well, I act towards him in a way that he's innocent, because until he's proven guilty, in my eyes, he's innocent.
Correct.
So if he is guilty and they found guilty, then he'll get the repercussions and the punishment that goes with that. You know, his career's over, everything's over, and his life is effectively never going to be the same again.
I pray for that Shawn Rhoden, you get a fair trial.
Yeah, that's a good thing to say.
Get a fair trial, Shawn Rhoden, because I can't imagine, as you said, what you're going through, but we don't know what's right or not right. But I just pray to God that he gets a fair trial. And with the other one, Bonac, Neil Hill, it's not much to talk about there, really.
Nothing really to talk about.
No, I'm not sure why they're talking about it. Whatever Bonac and Neil Hill, is their private.
Yes.
It's not for us to... Same would happen with so-and-so went to another company and started dissing Steve Blackman.
Yeah.
It's private.
Yeah.
All this is private. You don't go to media and... Obviously, William brought it up himself. And Neil Hill then went all over the place.
He had to retaliate. Because when something goes out... And personally, I in an ideal world, I wish they'd have spoke privately. And then just announced that William was now working with somebody else or doing it with it by himself, and then they would part way. I don't feel the need forever for that kind of content to go out, because I don't think it's beneficial for the athletes. I don't think it's beneficial for the industry, and I don't think it leaves anyone with a good feeling.
And just imagine this: William Bonac and Neil Hill has a private whatever. Well, it's not private; it's public now because they went to Instagram and talked about it. Yeah. But we saw what William said. Yeah. We saw it. We made our own opinion, and that's it. Yeah. Why do we have to make a show about what William or Neil Hill says?
It's just...
Why can't they make a show about... So how you looking now, Bonac? 6 weeks out.
Yeah.
Who's prepping you now?
AJ, this is the problem. AJ, this is the problem with the media at the moment. It's just how it is. It's like... And that will get a lot of views. I mean, remember our... highest rated short video? That wasn't about someone's quads or how improvements he'd made, or it was about something that was private and personal. So I don't know what we can do to change that apart from just keep doing what we're doing the way we're doing it, and we just you got to put your blinkers on and just kind of let everybody else do their thing and we do us. I think that's the only way we can do it. That's the only way I can keep my enthusiasm and keep my passion going for this. Is that how you feel?
So we can say for people at home, we're not blind. We do see there's no current Mr. Olympia champion.
Yep.
There's no best in the world Phil Heath.
Yeah.
There's no second best in the world, maybe, or whatever you want to call it, Kai Green. Do you not agree with this? There's no wave of the future, people said Big Ramy.
Yeah.
There's no Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Cedric McMillan.
Okay.
There's no the forgotten son of Africa, Lionel Bakey.
But AJ.
You're not into that. So even though,
where is he?
Yes, it is a worse Olympia than we would obviously have, but it's still the Olympia, bro.
AJ, listen.
Are you gonna cry or are we gonna be getting hyped about what's going on?
AJ, I went to the 2001 Olympia. I went to the 2002 Olympia, and do you know why I didn't go? I remember.
And you regretted it.
I didn't go to the 2003 Olympia.
Oh, what an idiot!
Which is what, one of the top 5 Olympias of all time?
Yes, because Ronnie Coleman came out and gave the smackdown.
Do you know why I didn't go that year?
Because you thought it was going to be bad.
Because I thought it was going to be bad because all my favourite names were dropping out. And still to this day, I bitterly regret it.
And I just don't understand. How can you be a bodybuilding fan and you live in Las Vegas or around there?
I know.
And you don't go?
I know.
Just because Phil is not competing, or just because...
AJ, every time I go, I think it takes me about 24 hours. I think I've done 4 flights getting to the Olympia. 2017, I was actually wearing this suit. This is my Olympia suit, 2016. And I travelled in this suit, and I travelled for 24 hours. I had 4 flights, and I got there, and everyone was in the there was a Thai restaurant in the Orleans, and I came bouncing through full of energy, and they're like, Charles. And I was like, I've been traveling for 24 hours. I go, but you look so fresh. It's like, guys, this is the Olympia. I'm buzzing to be here. I'm really excited. I says, oh, come on. I says, you guys have got one domestic flight for 2 hours, and you're tired. Come on.
Brandon Curry's going to come in and smoke everybody's ass this Olympia. I'm feeling it.
Damn right. I hope so.
I hope so.
Well,
it's Currie time.
We are obviously completely and utterly
Biased.
because we are doing a Global Muscle Pro Tour with Brandon Currie.
We'll announce that next week.
In October, I'm announcing it now.
Yeah, but we can talk about more next week in detail.
Obviously, we'll talk about more next week because I'll have all the bookings sorted by then. So, because there's one slot left. So,
it's that Currie time.
And we're bringing hopefully another Mr. Olympia, 4 weeks after.
Chris,
Olympia.
who's this? If I say it's Currie time in a dribble like this,
What?
You don't know who Steph Curry is? Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
The midget basketball player shooting threes. Steph Curry. He's very popular amongst midgets. You don't know? Steph Curry from Golden State. What? Shooting threes from half court. Oh my God, you guys don't follow anything other than bodybuilding and Star Wars, huh?
What?
What?
What's he doing? Oh.
Oh yeah.
He's fiddling. Sorry, I was bringing some porn up or something.
No, so on the other controversial, I can't even remember what it was anymore.
Do you know what? Who cares?
Who cares?
We've got the Olympia in 6-7 weeks, mate. This is what we need to be focused on.
So the resume is sad. We pray for a fair trial.
Yeah.
You feel he's in your gut.
No, I do.
Yeah?
I do. And I'm, obviously, that's obviously why I want to be proved right, because that would just make a very, very horrible situation for a lot of people, all parties involved. It would just... I just want to see. I don't want to just click my fingers and see it go away, but I want to see it come to.
If he's found innocent,
then someone's actually accused.
That girl, she's got to go to jail then.
Yeah, I know. I think.
But I'm saying, if he's found innocent, what happens with this? Can he compete? What's going on then?
Well, he's still prepping.
Yeah, but he's 44 now.
I know.
If he goes to court and they find him innocent, that's going to be after the Olympia.
I don't know what he's going to do. Mate.
So is it then prep for another year and do 2020?
I don't know.
And meet Phil Heath.
Well, mate.
Then we will see what the heat is cooking.
Well, maybe that. I mean, there's rumor.
Oh, there's another. Okay, guys, we're gonna snitch. There's a big.
How excited we are.
There's okay.
There's no rumored.
There's Mr. Olympia.
Possibly.
It's Arnold Classic, and then there's something else coming.
Some things. We can't say. We can't. Because AJ, we're not even.
Bodybuilding is alive
AJ,
and well.
We're not even supposed to know.
We ain't supposed to know,
and
but
it's going to be. There's something. All I can say is I'm thinking it'll be before the Olympia, but there's going to be a very, 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 very big announcement that is going to be a wave of positivity that is going to come in, and it's going to be like a tsunami, and it's going to wash away all the drama, all the negativity, and everything's going to be right. And Joe Weider's going to be up on his cloud, and he's going to be fist pump in the air.
He's going to do a Lee Haney front lat spread.
Yeah. So all I can say is good things are coming, and like I said, please try and also the athletes start putting out a little bit more as well. I know it's deep, I know it's hard with prep, but we are in the social media age now, so you do need to hold accountability to yourself, to the fans, to the sport, to the industry, because it has been a tricky year for the industry. But also, if you look away from that, there are so many good things going on and behind the scenes, like I just alluded to.
That's why I'm on the Steve Kuclo train right now.
You're on the Steve Kuclo train.
I'm on the Steve Kuclo train right now. I haven't always been on it, but I'm on it.
Choo choo.
So a lot of bodybuilding shows lately through Vancouver Pro.
We're getting all excited now again because we're back in the studio.
Vancouver Pro.
Vancouver Pro,
We had the pride of the UK. He's still the pride of the UK.
Yeah.
Nate and Asha weren't supposed to do Vancouver Pro, but he said, let's do it. Who did he meet in Vancouver? That wasn't planned.
Well, who's the one bodybuilder I keep going on about that I saw at San Marino, 101 kilo in 2017, that blew my mind, and I said...
Rafael Brandao also, you got you very excited back in them days.
Yes, I got very excited. What did I say? I said, when this guy... I keep saying to Ron Harris, I said, look, I can't wait for you guys to see him in the flesh at a show, either in America or Canada, because I'm telling you, and he needs to go open. I put it in my MD column, Global Muscle Buzz, a few times. I said, no, twice actually. I said, if he goes open and he gets to America or Canada, you're gonna be
the Persian prince, Hadi Choopan.
Persian wolf.
Persian wolf.
Yeah, difference between a prince and a wolf.
Yeah. I'd rather be a prince though, but
know your fairy tales.
Okay. Hadi Choopan showed up in Vancouver.
Oh Jesus.
We want to put up the some of the.
Oh yeah. We got pictures.
We have a little for the show people at home. Hadi Choopan, competing around 220. We were in the car in the UK when Phil called Hani Rambod.
Yes, he did.
And he said, "Honey."
And do you know what Phil said? He said shit like this. Phil said shit like this really gets me excited about bodybuilding again.
We didn't have
he was really excited.
Comparison. I think you screenshotted it or.
That's fine. We can do it.
Okay, let's. So we had Hadi Choopan. Let's go from the front.
Old Hadi bedpan.
That's the back. So we had Ian Valliere, Lucas Usladil, Nathan Asha, and
he's not doing anything. Look at his glutes, man.
Go from the front. Yeah, just put up a picture.
Great cheese with them glutes. Oh, look at that!
Yeah, but the other. Let's find where people are in the post though, bro.
He's
Relax.
actually got shoulders as big as his head had.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Well, they're not in.
AJ, that's a really good top 4.
Yeah, but Nathan is not in perfect position. The stomach is.
He needs to sort it out and hit the pose on.
There. Put it there. Because the Hadi isn't it. No. But Hadi Choopan, Phil, when he saw Hadi Choopan, he was like, "Wow, this is bodybuilding."
He did. He said, like, because he was looking at it and he was like, "Now this is what gets me excited." Really, you know, when guys like this are really, he was a shock. I mean, look at that.
And this guy's a 212 going up to 220 here.
AJ, do you know what he's managed to do at the San Marino? He went up to 222, 101 kilo. Up from the 212, which is 212, and he went a little bit obviously thicker in the waist. But what he's managed to do, he's managed to go, because he went to do 212 in Portugal last year. He's come back as an open, but he's managed to keep the waist small.
Relax, Nathan did not get third or fourth. He got second. I'm not sure why he's all the way on the right there. Disappointing, man. I thought Nathan.
To be honest, it
hurt me.
AJ, when
Nathan hurt me.
Calm down. AJ, when Nathan came on and he said, "I'm doing 4 shows in a row," I thought, well, you've qualified for the Olympia, because he said he was going to do Vancouver, Portugal, and what was the other one?
Let me see from the back. Giles, what do you see from the back there?
AJ, you're not listening. What was the other one he was doing? No, that's Hadi's only weak pose. Readable biceps is his weakest pose.
His weakest pose?
That's his weakest pose. I've seen it in the flesh. He's not as... I mean, look, Nathan...
Oh, Luke is looking pretty good over there, huh?
Yeah.
Lucas, are you impressed with the new size with Lucas, by the way?
It's all gone to his legs, isn't it? Because I saw some pictures from Tampa, and his upper body started to flatten out a little bit.
Look at Hadi. Looks good, man.
Lucas looks good. And also, Ian Valliere now working with Patrick Tour.
You can talk about the Tampa Pro, because that's where,
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir. But Lucas does have some funky posing going on.
And he's got some funky legs. Look at it. I'm not funky. Sorry, that's a bodybuilding term, isn't it? I mean, look at those teardrops. I mean, Jesus. See, Nathan should have shut it down after the Grand Prix, but then again, you don't know. He could have looked better, and I don't like this fuller look.
So Hadi Choopan, a great show. Where do you have? Sadly, Hadi's not allowed. We saw a New York Post. Even when New York Post write about the bodybuilder,
why do you think that
means the bodybuilder is epic? How many times have you seen? It's only Phil Heath was on the New York Post. Remember, nobody else.
Okay.
So Hadi Choopan, he's a very popular guy, and there's some Iran got some things going on right now. Have you seen about it, Chris?
Oh, the boat got stolen. Or something.
I'm not so sure, but there's some conflict between. There's always been a little bit of conflict with Iran and America.
Well, there's tensions,
and now there's new tension. But I don't even believe the media anymore. Who knows what's going on? But there's a little bit of rivalry going on there.
Yeah.
So, so they wrote about Hadi probably because he's from Iran.
Yeah, I think it's such a shame. Such a shame.
So,
what do you think?
If there's a miracle from God and he's allowed to come in,
no, it's not happening.
I just said if there was a miracle.
No, it's not happening.
If God said, "Let's bring in Hadi Choopan to America and dominate," where would you place?
Oh, at the Olympia.
No, the San Marino Pro. Of course.
Are you open 212?
Open, of course. That's where all the big boys are. Nobody. Well,
I think. Do you know what do you know what I really want to see? I want to see Hadi versus Bonac. Because 220, similar sort of heights, very sort of similar, complete, detailed physiques. I would love to see those two next to each other.
Where does Giles Tiger Thomas, the swag champ, have Hadi Choopan in the open class? Don't care about Bonac. And where do we place him?
4th. I think he's 4th. I think...
he beats Dexter?
Well, actually, this Olympia probably 3rd.
So he beats Dexter?
Yeah, I think he'll beat Dexter. What do you think? Come on.
Okay, so he beat Nathan I wouldn't. He beat Nate. No, it wasn't as. He beat Nathan the Asha. He beat Nathan the Asha. Nathan to me beat Dexter last year.
Do you want to get another voice message? What?
Well,
I just said it.
Let's snitch.
No.
Let's snitch.
No, we're not editing again. Stop it. Get on.
Okay.
Get on with it.
So Nathan, I had him beating Dexter Jackson last year. Did you?
What? Sorry?
Nathan got 7th last year. No, Nathan got 8th and Dexter got 7th. Correct?
Oh, we talked about this in the car, didn't we? No.
I had Nathan beating Dexter last year.
No.
Yes.
No. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because Nathan on the Friday looked sensational, but he wasn't getting the call-outs. And yes, there's a very good argument for him beating him on the Friday. But Nathan faded hard, and I mean hard, on the Saturday.
So I don't see the improvement. Dexter...
Nathan didn't hold it well enough. If he'd have held what he had, even 95% of what he had on the Friday to the Saturday, then yes, he would have beaten Dexter, but he faded, honestly.
Hadi Choopan guaranteed top 5, guaranteed.
Oh, no question. No question. I would really love to see him and Bonac at their peak next to each other.
If there's no...
Do you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see William Bonac and Hadi do a show like in Europe or something, like EVL Prague, or
we have Currie, Rowley, Bonac. That's our right now top 3, correct? Or
yeah.
So yeah,
I think it's a lot.
Just as you said, we would
unless one of them really messes up.
So we would see Hadi versus Bonac, yeah.
So if Currie does,
see, like you said, yeah.
So if Currie doesn't win the Olympia, who's winning it? A lot of people reckon Dexter can win it, and I just...
No
disrespect.
No, I don't have that. No.
I think...
They're very on. American journalists are very on it, though.
They are, and I don't know why.
We'll go to Tampa later. Okay. So our other show that was the Portugal Pro. Very surprising. It's the most surprising show I've seen in a good time.
Yeah.
We had Mr. Can we show him on Instagram?
Shabam. Was it Mohammed?
So Shaban is originally from Egypt.
Yeah.
He's married to a figure girl. I'm not sure her name is.
Fantastic shoulders.
Dang.
Look at his delts.
So he came in and he beat Lucas.
Oh.
He beat Ian Valerie.
Yeah.
He beat Samson Dauda. And he beat the Florian.
Oh, Florian. I think we
Tell me more about Florian.
I think we should get Florian on the show.
Maybe
that might happen.
Tell me more about Florian and Patrick.
Florian, he's 24, 25 years old. He was still competing as a junior like a couple of years ago. Now, this is a guy I've been following for a couple of years. I think I put him in my Flex magazine column a few years ago when he was obviously younger. But I said, I mean, if you can go back and look on the forums and stuff, and I said, look, this guy is like a new version of Dennis Wolf. Incredible legs, incredible calves. He's got better calves than Dennis. But but no, I was really super impressed. And I said, this guy literally is going to turn pro this year.
24 years old,
and he did. He won the amateur Olympia at the Portugal show, and then he went and competed with the pros and took 4th place at 25.
For people at home, Florian, can we?
Florian, we put him in last.
Before we do that,
2 episodes.
Let's show some respect to the champion, Mr. Shaban.
Yes, fantastic.
Shaban, what's his name? Can you go to his first, so we can get his real first name?
Yeah, there we go.
So it's
just IFBB Pro
Shaban.
Okay.
He's Miss Dang. He's married to IBB Pro girl there. They competed in the same show.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
He's Team Oxygen. I'm not sure if he lives there or lives in America.
Right.
Since he's married to her and she lives in America.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. Very surprising. He won. He was a little bit. What can we say? He was smaller than the other guys.
Yeah.
He was.
He looks good, but I just.
It was a big surprise.
To beat guys like Valier and Lucas and
Samson. And
he's very good. To be honest, I'm looking forward to seeing him at the Olympia. I am looking forward to it because sometimes when you only seen like literally a couple of... that side chest is very impressive. Everything's there. I mean, he's...
But he's not a big guy.
He's pretty thick there, isn't he? I mean, he's a bit more hamstring, but he's impressive. But
Muhammad, his name is.
I really am looking forward to seeing this guy in Las Vegas at the Olympia.
Yeah. So congratulations, Muhammad. That was it's great when you can, like Kamal. Well, Kamal wasn't. He was a very
very well. Very well established.
Yeah.
As an amateur, he was.
But for American audience, they had no idea who he was.
Yeah.
So Shaban, maybe he is very big. Like we haven't done our homework. Maybe he is.
Well, I actually was following him on Instagram.
Shaban.
But he didn't flag up as someone that was like, woo, look at this guy. You know, like when you see, trying to think. Like when I saw Ule Christian, I was like, when I saw the pictures, I was like on Mauro Sassi's Instagram about 2 years ago. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, like really sort of jumps out at you. But this guy, he's done very well. He's won his first pro show. There's not many bodybuilders who can win their pro debut.
So back to Florian on Instagram. Florian.
Well, we put him in episode 29. Unless you want to bring up some photos from Portugal.
Okay.
But I mean, this guy probably has some of the best quads I've seen for a long time. Very impressive. Very impressive. I'm really digging his physique. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, that's Florian.
Come on, look at this.
Yeah, that's you can press that one. Yeah.
I mean, look at the legs. In terms of structure, that reminds me of like 2013, 2014 Dennis Wolf. And he's a nice guy as well. I speak to him before.
So
good shape, good aesthetics. What do you think?
I had him. I want to say I had him winning, but he was incredible.
AJ, you're not the only person to have said that.
Seriously?
Yeah.
He turned for people at home.
Yeah.
He turned.
Look at that.
He turned pro at Portugal. Showed up a couple of hours later.
Yeah.
And people had him in the top 3.
Yeah.
He got 4th.
And he's prepped by my good friend Patrick Tour from Switzerland.
Yeah.
Patrick speaks very highly of him. He said he's very easy to work with. He's a very disciplined. He's like Nicholas Vulliard. He's very focused, very disciplined, easy to work with, a good head on his shoulders. And I mean, look at that on the left. Wow. How do you? Oh, look at the dog. Even the dog's impressed. The dog's like, whoa, Dad.
Hey, you see the sign? What type of dog is that?
Fluffy one.
That's that Dennis Wolf type of dog, isn't it?
It's not a wolf dog. It's more like a sheep than a wolf.
Yeah, it's almost the same thing.
Chris, is that a sheep or a wolf dog?
Yes, that's the Dennis Wolf gimmick, isn't it?
It's not a donkey.
So it's the new Dennis Wolf 2.0.
Okay.
I'm
not feeling the connection.
No, okay. Okay, back to the biggest show all year. Almost bigger than New York Pro, actually.
Oh, Tampa.
So this weekend, we had a big show.
Yeah.
Record in IBB Pro. Over 319 competitors.
That's professional athletes. That's incredible.
So the biggest IBB Pro show this year. Tim Gardner.
Yep.
Wings of Strength.
Yep.
All the classes: bikini, bodybuilding, fitness, figure, open, 212, men's physique, over 40, over 100 bikini, 1,000, whatever it's called.
I mean, that's a Tim Gardner show, and I mean, Tim, if you've got Tim Gardner's stamp on it, you know it's going to be a good show.
Oh.
But how do you even organize and coordinate something that huge unless you've?
So we're gonna go through open later. Let's go to the small classes first. In bikini, we had. Okay, listen. Go Maureen. That's the first one.
Okay.
So for people at home. Is there yet? The first one. Let's press that one. Yeah. Okay. So for people at home, Norway, nothing's going on there.
Wow.
Giles, just let it there stay. You don't have to go through. Let people see.
See, that's how I like bikini girls to look.
Maureen Blancao, she's from the Philippines, lives in Norway.
Yeah.
Before I used to say she's Norwegian, but obviously I don't think she even speaks Norwegian, bro.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll find out soon.
Yes, I've been speaking to her on Instagram.
Hint. She just won her 4th show in a row.
Yeah.
And that's never, ever done before in bikini.
Okay. But you know, AJ,
Why is that, do you think?
I don't know. But that's what I want to see from bikini, because you know I have a bit of a but I have an opinion that's the pro bikini girls nowadays are too thin.
Is she too thin? Or?
No, I don't think she is. I mean, I'd like to see a bit more muscle on the legs, but the delts, the taper, I'm seeing some lats, lat development there. I've seen some lat development. I see.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she looks great. I think she looks great.
Press another picture. Let's see if there's any lat development. Well, the hair is covering it.
I'm seeing slightly bigger legs, like for bikini, because I think some of the bikini girls are so. She looks lovely. Oh, she's fantastic.
So she won 4th show in a row. That's why we want to hype on it, because 4 shows in a row.
In a row.
That's very respectful. That's very good.
That's very, very impressive.
So she won bikini. 212 was our guy, John Jewett. You have a little bit. Okay, we can.
John Jewett. Yeah, I had him in my old show, Muscle News Weekly, last year. And someone I was actually hyping then. And then he got the Dallas show and he got like 5th, and he didn't do that great. And I was like, oh, maybe he's just a physique that looks great. Because in photos.
To the left.
In photos, he looked absolutely sensational.
Down, all the way down.
Yes, down there, yeah.
There, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, this is a guy, and...
Close battle with...
Guy.
No, he wasn't second. Who was second again?
Who was I?
Come on, now we're very slow. That was very disappointing.
Well, we can just go back to the thing before, if you can shut that down.
John Jewett beat a very good...
Well, just bring it up. Just don't think... Yeah, if you can go back, sorry, to the names we clicked on. There we go. Oh, it's 2019. Yep, go down. Zane Watson.
Zane Watson.
Yeah. Well, I actually prefer John's physique to Zane's.
Okay, why?
Because he's more complete. I just think he's more complete, and he's very, very top to toe, very good symmetry, very good grainy detail. But it's good to see him like really, like his waist seemed a bit more tapered now. There seemed to be more things were popping. So I was pleased to see someone that I really rated. I expected this for him last year, but now he's really delivered. So I think it's absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased for him.
In the classic, we had a new guy, the guy who's friends with Goon, Abner.
Okay.
He won it in his debut.
Right.
Just like our friend, the Black Panther, did.
Yeah.
If we go to... Is there classic here? Yeah. That's the first one.
Yeah.
Abner Logan is not a very classical physique, obviously. It's more like a bodybuilder.
Oh, he's big.
Yeah, he's a big
really
guy.
Big. Let's have a side chest, Chris, please.
So, okay, is this a classical physique or more like a smaller bodybuilder?
Yeah, no, he's not big enough for 212, is he really?
No, but like, is he a classical
No,
physique?
I take it back. The legs, that's bigger than any classic I've seen.
Correct.
The legs are huge.
So this is a big guy.
What it is, AJ, he'll be someone with either a very light bone structure or someone that is quite wide-shouldered, maybe, I don't know, who's got a big frame, and because it's about height, isn't it? Oh yeah, he's wide. He's got a great V taper.
So he won the classic in his debut, going to Olympia.
That's a really
He's from Boston. He's got great personality.
Yeah.
He's got charisma. It must be fun going to Olympia on your first try.
Yes, fantastic.
So he beat some
good-looking dude.
Yeah, good-looking, sexy man.
Like myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have seen Chris with his one eye. I'm like, what?
Yep.
No. Dimitri had Do you know Dimitri, our friend from Russia?
Yes.
He got 6th. I wasn't feeling that placing at all.
Okay. Yeah, you see.
Very classical, very nice.
Does pretty well, though. Does fairly well.
That's not good enough.
Okay.
6th place in classic. And the level there is not good. Well, it's classic level.
He's got one arm bigger than the other. Quite significantly as well.
Yep.
Maybe you should get your tape measure out and measure his arms, AJ, like you did with...
No, but the classic class...
It's jokes today.
The classic class is very many mix. It's a lot of good talent, but it's also a lot of people. You're like, what? How did they get their pro cards?
Oh, in classic, yeah.
It's a lot of guys.
It'll take a couple of years for the rise, the cream to rise.
Cream rise to the top. Abner. So congratulations to Abner.
Yeah.
Great debut.
Yes, fantastic. Yeah, nice physique. Good physique.
Yeah, great physique.
It'll be interesting to see how he does at Olympia.
Okay. And then we can go to our star of the show.
Who?
Hella Trevino.
Oh, Hella.
Oh, God. You go down, Chris.
This is the female bodybuilding class.
Bodybuilding
Hella
class.
Trevino. She's one of the top female bodybuilders.
There to the left. There, yeah.
Hella
First
Trevino,
one.
yeah.
And you go down to that picture I like, just to see the shape. All the way down.
Yeah, front double bicep I like.
All the way down. All the way down. And there, up. There, yeah. Press that one.
I'm not keen on that photo.
No, not that one, maybe.
No, the front double...
There to the right. Yeah. That's the picture. Look,
yeah. Look at the quads.
So Hella Trevino, she dominated female bodybuilding. Wasn't even a contest. For me, the most impressive look at Giles. This is something truly special, isn't it?
Yeah, she's very good. I love the condition. I love especially in the quads, because do you know how hard it is for women to get that level of condition? Very, 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 very hard.
And she doesn't have a small waist, but she knows how to the condition and the way she displays it.
Yeah, she tilts her body.
This is something more bodybuilders in open class maybe should learn a trick or two from Hella Trevino, because look at waist looking really classical and shapely there, huh?
Yep, very good.
Very good. So congratulations going to the Rising Sun with Margie and Monique and all the other girls.
I'm starting to really, I mean, you've got like Monique Jones, you've got Margie V Marvelous, you've got Hella Trevino. Is Alina Popper doing it this year?
No, she's out.
She's not, she's out.
It's very disappointing, by the way.
Why?
She just quit. Oh, I won't say that like that, but she didn't.
Did she qualify?
She's the champion.
Oh, of course, she won it last year, didn't she?
Yeah.
So she's not doing it this year.
And she's not even doing it.
Or maybe she saw Margie and
she didn't want to do it
and just thought, shit.
So congratulations to Hella. But the class everybody wants to know, and shout out to Jenny Worth, isn't it?
Yeah, fitness, yeah.
Fitness. And Sheila Black went from bodybuilding
to women's physique
and won it. 41 girl female physique, by the way.
Wow.
41
There's
girls.
a lot of women's physique now. Because some are switching up from figure, some are down. Well, there's not many actually. I mean, Michaela Aycock switched from women's physique to bodybuilding, because remember I saw a picture on Matt Jansen's radial bicep a couple of months ago, and I said, because I really rate Michaela. She looked great at the Olympia last year, and I said, I said she looks fantastic, but she's for me now, with all the muscle she's put on and the condition, she's more female bodybuilding. And she came on and said, "Oh look, I really respect your opinion, but I really feel like women's physique is where I want to stay." And then I see in Tampa, and she's there rocking out on the women's bodybuilding, taking 4th place. That's fantastic.
How do you sell tickets?
I don't know.
You gotta have the freaks.
Okay.
And which class do we see the freaks?
Open
bodybuilding. Let's go to the video.
Yes.
So we have before you press it, wait a little bit. There, that's it. Yeah, go from the beginning, but wait a little bit. So Tampa Pro, we had the legend of legends, Dexter Jackson. We had a Luke Sandow that was forced. A little backstory. He was supposed to meet your friend Dorian Yates.
Yeah.
Which date?
Sorry?
Same date as Tampa Pro.
Oh, of course, yeah, the same day.
Yeah.
So it was his birthday as well.
So just like Nelly and Kelly Rowland, he had a dilemma.
Right.
People understand. No matter
I'm
what
trying to keep up
all
here.
I think about is you. Nelly dilemma. You don't. Oh my God, guy. You don't know Nelly dilemma.
Chris just listens to gangster rap.
Okay, but just before Nelly, you know who Nelly is?
Yes.
Okay, so he had a dilemma to compete in Tampa.
An elephant. Nelly the
To compete in Tampa,
Chris like that.
or meet Dorian Yates and do a social Instagram video. Remember?
Right.
It was either.
Okay.
So he did Tampa.
Yeah.
Because he needed the placings to go to the Olympia. Luke Sandow.
Yep. Well, I went to see Dorian as a substitute. I did.
I know.
Yeah. I said, "Can you have a look at me, Dorian?"
So we had Luke Sandow. We had Ian Valerie doing it, who's changed prep coaches from who to who?
Patrick Tour now.
From
Matt Jensen.
So he changed prep coaches. And and we had a very interesting new talent. We've impressed me a lot. Hassan.
Oh, Hassan Mustafa.
Was doing it.
Not in his pro debut.
Yeah.
He did Indie Pro, didn't he? Do you know what I liked about Hassan Mustafa? Because I liked his physique at the... you all right? Okay. I liked his physique at the Indie Pro, but the waist was so wide it kind of threw the whole picture off for me. So I was like, this guy's got probably some of the freakiest legs in the class. In open bodybuilding, I just thought the arms are thick, the shoulders, the back, but then there was this big kind of midsection. And for this show, he's managed to bring it in. And that I'm really excited about. Because he's now he can really move forward, because that guy has got every single body part. He ticks every box.
Charles Griffin was in it.
Charles Griffin got 7th. Yeah.
Oh, very okay. Should we go down the placings or?
Yeah, you can skim through it.
Dexter Jackson.
Yeah. 29th pro win.
We can just press play while we're talking, really, because I think it's the whole comparison.
Yeah.
So Dexter Jackson.
Dorian there.
Emmanuel Romero. Okay, so this is go from the first.
This is the second call out or third call out.
Go to the first call out. Go to the minute 1. Is this the beginning?
Yeah,
go a little bit out. Okay, this is the second call out.
There's Charles Griffin.
There's Charles Griffin, our friend.
Who's this guy on the left?
I like that new guy.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure what his name is. Look at the shape.
And I tell Sean Smith on the right, who took 10th place. That's his pro debut.
And your friend Joel Thomas there.
And this guy, the third guy.
But look at Sean Smith though. Look at.
I know, it's thick. AJ, this guy really jumped out.
Pause it. Okay, no.
AJ, listen.
Yeah.
This guy here, the third guy here, Joel Thomas, really impressed me.
Why?
But I just love his physique. Look at the aesthetics. Look at the thickness. Look at the balance. Look at the calves.
So Charles
Look at
Griffin,
the arms. His arms.
Charles Griffin, disappointed. We thought we were going to be in the first call out.
Yeah. Didn't he look? I don't know.
His new game plan is to work on his legs and improve his midsection.
Yeah.
And as you can see, that's what he needs to improve on. Correct?
Yeah. He did put a lot of muscle on this year, but it was very
purely upper body mostly.
I mean, he looks flat there. He looks really. He's not popping at all. Look. Nothing's
This is
popping.
a good second call out, though.
Nothing's popping.
Look at Sean Smith there. Look at Sean
Joel
Smith.
Thomas. Look at Joel.
Look at Sean.
Look at Joel.
No. Sean takes him out.
I mean, that is two mass monsters there. I like Sean's physique, actually.
So that was second call out.
And he only turned pro last year. Yeah, if we can skim forward. Oh, here we go.
Okay, here we go. So here we have Dexter Jackson,
Yeah.
Lucas, Milan. I would like to see Charles Griffin
Lucas
in that
is
one. but-
totally fading here from the previous shows. His upper body looks completely washed out. Look at the chest and shoulders. I mean, the legs are still popping because they're absolutely freaky. Milan completely needs to shut it down now.
So this is our first call out. We have Hassan Mustafa.
This isn't the first call out. This will be one of the last, I think.
No, it's the first call out.
You sure?
Yeah, the last was only Luke and Dexter.
Right, okay. Vaillant, Luke Sandow. Oh, of course. They
Milan, Lucas, and here goes Valerie.
What did you think about Luke's appearance? Bearing in mind I was at the Arnold Classic and you weren't.
Okay, pause it there 1 second, huh? Or no, okay, let's keep it.
No, just keep playing it,
Let's
keep
keep
playing.
it. Yeah. Luke Sandow, here you see.
Lovely shape.
Remember, Luke was forced to do this show, meaning he needed points.
Yeah, he had to get the points
to Olympia.
Yeah.
So his mind wasn't all like he didn't know if he's going to do this show or whatever show. So he was forced to do it.
Yeah.
If you know that backstory, I'm happy with it
Okay.
because he came just to get a qualification.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm seeing in Luke?
What do you see?
I mean, obviously, it's been a very, very big year. He did the Arnold Classic. He took third. He did the Arnold Australia, and he took fifth. And then he did the Indy, and I took fourth. Or either way, you can swap the Indy and the Australia. But like third, fourth, and a fifth, he's had. So that's a lot of shows, a lot of prepping. I'm seeing improvements in his quads. Upper body it wasn't as good as it was at the Arnold Classic. Vaillant looks good there, man.
Ian is looking good there, huh?
Yeah, Vaillat's really popping there. Vaillant gets better with every show. He gets better with every show he does. He usually comes out okay and then he just improves. He was like Tony Freeman back in the day. He would just get better with every show. Or Johnny Jackson.
Tony Freeman was much better.
Yeah. All right, calm down, AJ.
Tony Freeman is a legend.
Your adopted father.
Yeah.
Look at Hassan, though. Look at Hassan's legs.
Freaky.
And now the waist still needs a little bit of work. But I tell you what, if he can further improve that waistline...
So pause it there.
I mean, he's not...
There. Pause it there.
I mean, look, AJ, compare Hassan to Dexter.
Look at the... okay, so let's look at Dexter now.
Yeah.
So what do you see?
I see what I saw at the 2013 Arnold Classic.
What was that?
Distension. It's like, I don't know what... Is he going to rectify that for the Olympia?
I hope so.
Because if he wants to win the Olympia, he's going to have to get that sorted. Otherwise, he ain't making top 3.
So Dexter, slight improvements in the legs?
No, I wouldn't say improvements. I would say
they're bigger.
No, they're not.
A little bit.
No, they're not.
Yes.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
I don't think they are.
Yes,
I
they are.
They've just regained a little bit of their former glory because the last 2 years, his quads have started to fade.
That means they're better. Regained former
They're not-
glory.
Well,
That means they're better than before.
they're not better. They've just not declined anymore.
If you regain your...
come
Chris, come on, be the judge. Aren't they better then?
What, better than ever?
No.
Oh, well, there you go then.
No, but that's...
Come on.
Okay, so Dexter... Okay, from last showing, he got bigger leg size, correct?
Yeah, because his legs were down last year. Come on, we're gonna go around in circles here.
Okay.
I feel like we do this every week. Don't we?
Okay, so Dexter legs were not as... They were improved from last showing.
Side tricep. Sorry, say that again.
So Dexter improved legs from last showing.
Yes, which is impressive considering he's like half a century.
His upper body looks the same.
Yeah, it looks good though.
Looks good.
Yeah,
It looks very good.
I like the color looks good. Everything. The
Detail
good.
is
Do you know what? AJ, do you know what?
Detail
I
is
remember in
something special.
I remember in 2012 when Dexter got 5th at the Arnold Classic, and that was when everyone went right. So that's 7 years. So he was 43 then.
You can
Everyone
play it
went
now.
AJ. Everyone said, "Oh, that's it. Dexter's going to start to fade now." And then he comes back in 2013, wins the Arnold, won the Masters Olympia at the end of 2012, and he's just absolutely.
So we
incredible.
don't rate him as a 5th 50-year-old, and then we're just rating as who's on stage now. You know what I mean?
AJ,
look here.
AJ, do you think there's a good argument for Hassan and Vaillant placing a little bit higher?
Hassan is looking freaky.
I can't take my eyes off him. His physique, it's just that mid.
Look at the legs.
I mean, the midsection's a little bit, but honestly, I don't see it as much there.
Yeah,
but
look at Luke and Dexter's midsection ain't exactly.
What about Vaillant versus Luke? Because everyone said it was a two-man show, and I disagree. No disrespect, Luke, but I think Vaillant and Hassan are really impressing me there. Lucas and Milan, to me, they're
fast forward a little bit to see Luke and Dexter, see what you think.
They need to shut it down, I think, now.
You can go out.
Yeah. Good bloody lineup though, that, isn't it?
Oh, amazing!
It's a good lineup. I went to the 2017 Tampa Pro. That was when Josh Lenartowicz won. Yeah.
So Dexter, what's congratulations? Of course, look great.
Fantastic.
Detail is out of this world.
Yeah.
Roundness, and the roundness of Dexter. The back. You can just when he comes out Dexter, you're like, wow, the polish, but the shape, the roundness. But I don't see the Olympia win here.
No, sorry. no, you're trolling. No, I mean, he took 7th last year, but it's clear that he's going to place higher than 7th unless he does something really stupid, which Dexter never does.
Fantastic to see George Farah in the building.
Don't think there was a comparison between the two of them.
Weren't there?
No,
Luke and Dexter
go straight into a pose down.
Okay.
I think there's
must have just been a photograph that you saw.
Oh yeah, cropped.
All I know, no, it is, but this is probably in the prejudging. Then this is probably finals, huh? Yeah, that's the finals. It's awards and post out.
Yeah.
So the prejudging, they were. But anyway, George Farah was in the building.
Farah. Good old Farah.
He's back from cancer. Yes. He's got great energy.
Yeah. He likes egg whites and blueberries for breakfast.
I've noticed. The American audience are really on Dexter Jackson's side for winning the Olympia and all this.
Why though?
The British audience are like, Luke should have won.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that, but I'm just saying what the people are saying.
Do you know what? Do you know why I'm being a little bit hard on Luke here?
No, because
I saw him in the Arnold Classic, mate, and honestly, that completely annihilates that look. I mean, if you saw him as a first time, you'd be like, wow, look at this guy's shape and structure and thickness. But I'm comparing him to the Arnold Classic. That's 80% of what he was at the Arnold Classic. So if he can bring that to the Olympia, how do you think Luke would do at the Olympia?
All I know, I don't rate Dexter.
I spoke to Luke about this yesterday.
I don't rate Dexter or Luke from that showing. This is a good warm-up for the Olympia.
Yeah, what's it, 6 weeks out? Yeah.
Dexter will...
Yeah.
Okay, let's see the comparison here.
Not like in that midsection.
So that's Luke, and from the side, Dexter there.
That Dexter's better there than he was at the Olympia last year.
What? There?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's more. He didn't have all that detail in his shoulders and stuff. Maybe it's just a really good picture. But Luke looked a bit flat around the chest area. So obviously it was good enough to make. He's made another good impact in another good show in America. So that's a win for him.
Yeah.
And he got enough points now for the Olympics because he was up to 18 points, wasn't he?
Well, Luke a year ago was just an English hype guy.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was just like cool and playing drums. And,
I like his beard.
Yeah, he's funny, and you know what I mean. Like people like Luke, and people on the must live on the force like Luke. I was like, what do you mean, Luke?
So then AJ, Luke versus Nathan at Olympia. How
many minutes we got now, Chris?
1 hour. Well, we'll wrap it up in 5 minutes. How you feeling about that? Bearing in mind they both got my number, so they could send me horrible voice messages.
Let me hear what you say first.
You just completely didn't listen to what I said then.
Yeah, voice. If Nathan would have called you, what would he say?
Hey, mate. No,
hey, mate.
Hey, mate. Nope, not doing it.
No. So who do you have?
Nathan.
Why?
Because statistically, he has the record. Luke, if it depends if Luke can bring what he brought to the Arnold even better, and he's only brought that look once, whereas Nathan has won 5-6 pro shows now. He's been 12th, 7th, and 8th at Olympia. He's done shows where he should have been placed higher, I think. But when Nathan's at his best, I'm sorry, but Luke doesn't stand next to him. I think, but then. Yeah, but it's what Luke's very. I won't say Luke is hit and miss because he has done a lot of shows this year. He's learning his body, But so let's compare the Arnold Classic version of Luke to, say, when's the best version of Nathan you've seen? I mean, the British Grand Prix was good because his conditioning was
against Roller Winkler in Prague, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh, Nathan. Yeah.
But he also was prepping in Kuwait and getting all the meals in, though.
Getting all the meals.
And no stress from
hanging out in strip clubs. No, I bumped into him. No, I'm joking, guys.
I'm just saying, Nathan was beast moding in Kuwait, wasn't he?
Yeah. I tell you what, I saw Nathan at the 2017 Arnold Europe when Rami, and he got fifth there, and he should have beat Shawn Rhoden because Shawn Rhoden was third, and no, was he fourth? He was fourth. But when he first came out, I thought, shit, he's going to get second. I thought he was going to beat Rowley. I thought he was going to beat Rhoden, and then things with Nathan, he fades. He comes out so strong. Like, honestly, at the Olympia last year on the Friday, he looked incredible. And I think because he wasn't getting the call-outs, he said, oh, I just kind of got pissed off and didn't eat.
Just to make it clear, if they both are on, you got Nathan winning, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who have you got?
Listen.
You can't get away with that then. Next subject.
Nathan the Asha has the track record until you have to give respect to people who has proven it, and that's Nathan.
Yeah. 5 pro wins versus 0.
5 pro wins against 0.
I really want, all I want to see is I want Luke to peak like he did at the Arnold Classic, because that was one of the biggest shocks of the year.
Although Luke Sandow has a third at Arnold Classic Ohio, is that bigger than any pro win?
Nathan's never done the Arnold Classic. Maybe Nathan would have got a third or even a second if he'd have done it this year. Maybe he'd have beaten Bonac this year.
All I know is that...
Do you think Nathan could beat Bonac?
Yes, of course.
Taller, wider? What do you think?
Of course he can.
When?
This Olympia.
You think Nathan the Asher can beat William Bonac at this year's Olympia?
Listen, all I know is that this Olympia, it's so open. Anything can happen.
Yeah, and to be honest,
that's why people want to buy tickets and go.
AJ, can we circle back to that? The story, the lesson I learned of, so-and-so's dropping out. Because that 2003 Olympia, AJ, if I could go back in time, if I could get in my hot tub time machine, I'd press it 2003 and I'd get my ass to Vegas and I would get to that Olympia, because that was the year I went, everyone's dropping out. There's only going to be like those. And then what happened? Then you get like a Ronnie turn up and it's something. I mean, do you think it could happen where someone just kind of like jumps up from nowhere like Ronnie did in 1998? No.
Because it's not from nowhere, even if...
no, I'm saying... but I'm saying like someone from like 9th or 7th place could jump up and win the... Because where everyone's going Currie.
Don't forget about my main man, Steve Kuclo now.
Steve Kuclo, Do you think...
He's got all the tools they want in a champion.
Yeah.
Tall, wide. Very handsome.
Yes.
Married to a beautiful woman who's also who's the speaker of the bikini.
She was one of my favorite bikini competitors when it first came out around 2010. I thought she should have won the 2010 Olympia, actually.
Been with Al Max for what, 10 years now straight?
37 years, yeah.
Fireman.
No, he was a paramedic.
When he comes out, the crowd goes ballistic, even though he doesn't post that good.
Posing's terrible. Steve sorted out.
He's got that rock music.
No, you can still put a good posing routine. You don't just repeat the same 5 poses over and over.
Big frame. Yeah. Nice smile.
Anything else? Or
all I know, UK bodybuilding scene, first time ever. They never had it. 2 British guys going into the Olympian Open to battle it out, and people are talking about it more almost than who's going to win.
Yeah, Luke
that
and Nathan.
Is something the UK can be proud of.
I think that's one of my favourite episodes we've ever done, you know.
The British beef
Luke versus Nathan, because that was really, and that's been a big talking. That's the one I've had probably the most DMs off and messages and feedback. People absolutely loved that episode. I think was it episode 27? I've got 27 in my head, something like that. 27. Go check it out. It's there's Nathan and Luke Sandow. It's absolutely tremendous.
James Hollingshead now working with Acito.
Yes, he's working with Acito.
Samson Dowdo going to Kuwait now, working with Abdullah.
I just hope Samson shuts it down now till next year.
He's going to Kuwait.
He's going to Kuwait.
Yeah, don't you?
What do you mean? I know he's working with Abdullah.
He's going to Kuwait.
When? How long for? He's got a job.
Next, he's gotten 3 months off or whatever.
3 months off his construction job.
He's doing off season. Yeah.
Well, how's he gonna pay for all? I don't understand.
That doesn't matter. Who cares? Going to pay for it? We run the streets.
On the streets. Okay.
So he's going to Kuwait.
Okay, fantastic.
James Hollingshead working with Cito.
Oh, Samson Dowder in Kuwait. That's dangerous.
James, the Giant's gonna make his debut. Hopefully, Arnold Classic 2020.
Yes. Oh, also, Jamie was asking me about how to get an invite for the Arnold Classic, and I've completely not responded
So
to
all
it.
we need now is somebody to go to the door of Sasan and say, Sasan, it's time to join the party.
Yeah,
And then you have a proper British.
Sasan, sorry.
Phoebe Hagen, some bikini girl from the UK, doing very good.
Never heard of her.
It's a British bikini girl.
Oh, is this she must have turned pro at one of the new events.
Phoebe Hagen, or whatever her name is.
Haagen-Dazs.
Haagen-Dazs. Okay, that's our intro for this episode.
Yes.
Great to be back.
Yeah, very good to be back. Episode
feeling
31.
good.
Back in the studio.
Feeling pumped, feeling good. Yes, you want to share on what? No.
What?
No.
The fact I'm on Tinder, though. Now we'll leave that one.
We'll leave that one.
Yep. Onwards and upwards.
On the rise.
Yep.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah, on the rise. Episode 31. Okay, hope you've enjoyed this intro. It's really good to be back, AJ. Really good to be back, Chris.
This is Olympia.
Oh, yeah, well, we're just going to keep building that hype train.
This is Olympia.
We're going to keep stoking it with the coal. And
Derek Lunsford is going to smoke everybody in
he's going to
212.
smoke everyone in the 212. Oh, my God, yes, absolutely.
It's going to be lights out.
Okay, we're going to go to an ad break, and we'll be right back on Global Muscle Radio.
Although David Henry is also have something to say about. Don't forget about David
Well,
Henry.
if you got a 50-year-old Dexter and a 46-year-old Dave Henry could do it as well. So
Or Kamal.
you've just completely ruined
El
my
Gardner.
outro. Okay, and we are
Out.
out. Okay, guys, it's shout-out time now on episode 31 of Global
Who's
Muscle
your
Radio.
shout out?
Who's your first one?
Sean Smith.
Oh,
He looked really good at Tampa Pro.
yeah,
He
very
was
good.
really good.
Pro
you go
debut.
down-
Pro debut.
If you look at his pictures, go to the left, down.
Yep.
It's down to the right, down there to the right. But let's get a picture of only him. There's too many other
Yeah,
people in there. There.
That is a pro debut.
This is somebody to look out for in the future. Sean Smith, young, born in 87. That means probably
32.
young guy, really on the rise. Freaky muscle mass. Like a different type of physique than we see usually.
Yeah,
Like, it's just
yeah,
different.
yeah.
It's like a nice look. If you go out, look at a video, press X.
AJ, it tells you the standard of the Tampa when this guy was getting 10th.
Yeah, press down
And he's only just turned pro last year as well.
and down to the left.
I believe it was the
There, yeah.
Was it the USA's last year he won this pro card?
Look, Charles.
Yeah.
Just
Just
fresh physique.
thick. He's strong as well. He's very strong.
Oh, he is, huh?
Yeah, I've had him on my old Muscle News Weekly show. I had him on and he gave us a little update and stuff. So yeah, he's really good. Look, Charles Tiger, all the best for today, mate.
So follow Sean Smith 87 on Instagram.
Yeah, fantastic. I hope to see this guy. I mean, look at that riddle bicep. Proper old school muscle. Freaky.
Oh,
Yeah. So you can stick your aesthetics up your ass. We just want freaky, heavy, shredded muscle. So
yeah. Look out for this guy for the future.
yeah.
What's your shout out?
My shout out. I've only got one today. This is Joel Thomas. Who, I mean, just look at that first video there, please. That one there. I mean, that is.
Yeah,
I mean,
press
look
play.
at that. Look at that. That looks like a muscle suit. Joel Thomas.
He's been a while for he's been around for a while.
I honestly have he's not flagging up in my brain at all. I've heard the name.
Yeah.
But when I saw these videos and I saw the photos from the Tampa Pro, I was so impressed.
It's got to be his best ever package, huh?
Look at that. Yeah, look at that. I mean, that's impressive. So the guy took 8th place, or was it 7th? I think it was 7th. Where is he? I think, yeah, I've got 8th place in my head from the Tampa Pro. So, because
really
Charles
good.
Griffin was 7th. My apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
He
they
was
are.
8th.
Can you watch the posing routine there? Thank you. Nice structure, tall, big, good legs, good calves. Very, very impressive. I think this guy's got serious potential. Serious potential. Yeah, I think maybe we'll have to get him on the show. Good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. Really good.
Wow.
Really good. Yeah. Have a look.
So
One
follow
more
him at what's his
Look at his arms and his shoulders, man. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, that's a pump. That's a pump. Can you play that, please, Chris? Fucking hell. Wow.
amazing. Huh?
Who does he remind you of? I'm trying to think of a pro he reminds me of. Trying to think the shoulders remind me of some. Branch Warren. In it. like the shoulders, like the muscle, the kind of muscle, the vascularity, the graininess. So
Putting a lot of hard work in the gym, this guy. That's for sure.
yeah, really impressed, and I really can't wait to see more from him. I don't even. He just needs to just keep making small, steady improvements. But there's a guy who's on the rise, AJ. Absolutely.
Definitely. He impressed me a lot during the Tampa Pro.
Yeah, really good. Great legs, great everything. Good look.
Joel Thomas, IBB.
Yeah, very impressive. Very impressive. So, who's your final shout out, AJ?
It's a girl called
Basia?
Basia Everett Annett.
Yeah.
She just turned pro. I've been putting her in my stories. She's a new IBB pro.
The guy on the great quads.
Yeah, and that too. Yeah. Great legs.
So the quads from the front are very impressive. I saw you put her on the Globe Muscle Instagram page.
Yeah. Her whole family are IBB pro.
Oh, really?
Her mom is Annette. I'm not sure what her mom name is, but she's also, so her whole families are competing.
Yeah.
So she turned pro this weekend.
Yeah.
And female physique.
Brilliant.
And she won. Yeah. So awesome job. We're looking forward to follow her career. She's got beautiful shape.
What category? Sorry.
Female physique.
Physique. Yeah.
You go to the left side. That's you picture probably you. Yeah, let's push play. Maybe we can see something there. Look at this. This is before her.
I like it. I like the quads. Yeah, they're good. When's she competing?
She just turned pro last week.
Sorry, you just turned pro. Sorry, I'm just mesmerised by her quads.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's that picture.
Yeah.
Look at that picture,
Yeah.
Huh? Impressive. little great smile too.
Yeah.
So congratulations on winning your pro card.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
Looking forward to follow your career. Basia, Everett, and I probably butchered her name. Say her name.
Basia.
Basia.
I would say that's Basia.
Basia, Everett,
Annette.
Yeah. Congratulations.
World's most extraordinary families.
Yeah, her whole family is legit.
Legit, yeah. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Okay, yeah, that was our shout-outs for today's episode. So we'll return after the break with our first guest on Global Muscle
Radio.
And we are out.
MD Pop Media.
And welcome to MD Global Muscle Radio here at the Pump Media Studios, joined by my co-host AJ, all the way from Norway, and we're joined by female bodybuilder Irene Anderson. Yeah!
Thanks for coming on.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
We saw you at Tampa Pro. We didn't like you in the second call out. We wanted you in the first call out, so that's why we invited you to be on the show.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I wish I was in the first call out.
So how was Tampa Pro for you? You just competed at Tampa Pro.
It's a very nice show. I've been doing it I think 9 or 10 times. I was actually on the first Tampa Pro show ever. So
2008.
I love the Tampa show. But it's always a tough show because it's the last show before Rising Phoenix, and a lot of girls showing up, a lot of good girls. So it's a tough competition.
Was female bodybuilding back at Tampa this year? Because it was no female bodybuilding last year, was there? Was there last year?
Yes. Yeah,
it was. Oh, because Lisa Cross did it. That's right. Yeah.
So you're Nick. Tell us more about yourself, Irene. We want to get to know you a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah, I've been training since I was 15 years old, and I started to prepare for a bodybuilding competition when I was 19, 20. And
which country?
I moved from one city to another to work on we had a gym chain in Sweden that called World Class, so I started to work for that company. So there was no competition, and I actually did my first show 2003, and I was 37 years old. My first show.
Wow. How old were you?
37.
37.
In
Wow.
2003.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
What?
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
What?
Bodybuilding's anti-aging.
Don't count.
In 2003? How old is she then, John?
I'm very good at mathematics.
Okay.
All I'm saying is I'm
We
impressed.
skipped that part.
Okay, we skipped that part, yeah?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I won everything I could win in Sweden in 2003 and 2004. The overall title, Rookie of the Year and everything. So I applied for my pro card and got it 2005.
So did you always compete in female bodybuilding? Did you not start in any other categories, or was it just female bodybuilding you started in and continued with?
Just female bodybuilding.
Oh, okay.
I never been thinking about anything else. So, so I did my first pro show 2006, and from 2003 until now, I've been competing every year except 2005, the year I got my pro card.
Wow.
And there was 1 year more. I can't remember if it was 10, 11, 12 something. Otherwise, I've been every year between 2 and 4 shows. 5 shows every year.
Wow. You could, I mean, the female bodybuilders seem to compete more often and for longer, and they manage to hold their peak. In fact, they manage to get better and better than the male bodybuilders.
Yeah, it's interesting that it seems like you need a lot of years, and I think you need a lot of diet going on to get more to all the female parts. You learn your body to get loose of fat on more female curves. So I think we get better and better around like 40 and up.
I mean, do you remember like when Betty Pariso, I think she was looking at her best in her 50s. I mean, I think she looked at her all the time. Exactly. I mean, mid-50s, she was looking at her peak. I mean, she wasn't actually regressing. She was actually getting better. I'm trying to work out the difference of why the guys, you know, I mean, you've got guys like Dexter, who's an exception, but why the women can actually just keep getting better and better and better and competing so often, and they don't seem to get injured.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually ran into Dave Palumbo couple of months ago, and he's like, Irene, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, what? You just keep getting better and better every year. So that was really nice to hear. That's the goal. I continue to compete as long as I feel that I can improve my physique and getting better. So I will continue some years more.
What's your Olympia 2007, 2008? What's your Olympia track record?
I've never been at the Olympia.
Oh, you've never been at Olympia?
Oh, really?
No, I was so close like 2-3 times, and then they took it away.
So what's your highest placings through your career?
I have like 3rd and 4th places, but my best was like Rising Phoenix, our Olympia.
Yeah. Which year?
It was 3 years ago. I had an 8th place there.
Okay.
So that would count as the best.
Are you what's your height and weight on stage? Because we notice you are a lot taller and bigger than the other girls that we've seen this year.
Yes. Because
we've studied these shows more closely this year, and how tall are you and what's your stage weight?
I'm 5'7". I'm actually the same height as Jacksani.
Okay. You're only 5'7"?
Oh, I thought AJ was alluding that you were taller than that.
Are you only 5'7"?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Must be the structure.
So the girls are really short then on stage.
We can put it that way.
Yeah, like 5'3", and that's not okay. What's your stage weight?
In kilo, I used to weigh 84, 85 kilo.
Wow. So how much is that?
Actually, this show in Tampa, my plan was to tighten up and get a bit smaller, but I ended up to weigh like 86, nearly 87 kilo in Tampa.
200 pounds, isn't it? That's 200 pounds for the American audience.
Wow.
200 pounds at 5'7", huh?
That's quite impressive.
That's a mass.
That's what I used to compete at.
Is it?
I'm trying to,
and I was 5 inches taller.
And that's why you have a DVD that I've been looking for, but can't find anywhere. By the way, it's called Larger Than. What's it called again? It's called
Too Big for the World.
Too Big for the World. Tell us some more about that.
Big. They don't want us on the Olympia, so we're too big for them.
Right.
Tell us about that project.
Yes, it started like 5-6 years ago, and the beginning was the meaning to have like just a small like 40 minutes film about me and how I started to train, how I got into bodybuilding and all this stuff. So we started to film a bit, and during that, they took us away from Olympia.
Yeah. So 2013, wasn't it, when they took it away? So
it's 5 years ago.
So 13 or 14?
Yeah. So the project from the beginning was too big for Sweden because I compete in US.
Yeah.
But then we changed the name to Big for the World because suddenly they didn't want us there either. So we started to film a bit in US, talk to people around, try to find out what's going on in the sport. Why don't they want us on stage? Why can't they promote us more? Of course, we don't get so popular if they don't help us to promote us. So we talked around and filmed a bit. And then Rising Phoenix, that was the first year of Rising Phoenix.
Okay.
So we filmed that show also. So it's actually a documentary from the beginning of the female bodybuilding and until when Jake Wood stepped in with Wings of Strength and Rising Phoenix. So and what happened is we tried to get it into we had a premiere at Olympia that year.
That was a big like film,
Like
a big, not like a, sounds good.
And we showed it in some theaters in Europe.
Fantastic.
We have been holding the film, but now I can tell everybody we have decided that we will put it out September 12th at Mayo to download. And right now I'm dealing with Orleans Hotel, and I talked to Dan Solomon, so it's okay to show the film at the Olympia.
Wow!
Let's go see it.
Yeah, of course.
I saw big. Yeah, because I saw.
Hopefully we can have a screening Thursday.
Well,
before the Olympia begins.
Irene, last year at the Olympia, I went to the Joe Weider movie, Bigger the Movie, because in the Orleans, they're actually on the second floor. There's a cinema, and that's where we had the premiere. And it's a really nice little intimate cinema. It's a really nice one, lovely big seats. But that would be fantastic. And if we're there, we'll go.
Has Don Solomon said yes, or
we'll go do a review?
What we're doing now, we have to send the film to the cinema, and they have to say it's okay, and then we wait for that they will confirm if we can have that date Thursday before Olympia. Dan Solomon told me that's the best date, Thursday around 3 p.m.
It's
hopefully in a couple of days we will know. But anyway, we will still release it the September 12th on Vimeo.
Okay.
And hopefully will come out on Amazon, Google Play and stuff like that. We're working on that also.
Over how long was it filmed, Irene?
We filmed over like 3 years.
3 years? Oh, wow.
They started to film me, and I wasn't so fond of being filmed, so when they called me and said, can we film a bit now? Or can we take it next month or so?
Oh, okay.
But, so it took a long time, but I think that was the meaning, because they were waiting for me, they took us away from Olympia, so the film got more interesting, and we could really following the people in the sport. Landa Murray's in it, Bill Dobbins, who have been around in the sport.
Photographer, fantastic.
So he's talking a lot about how people react on women with muscle and stuff like that. So people who saw it think it's really interesting. Well,
if it's at the Olympia, we'll definitely go along and we will review it.
I live in Norway. They hate bodybuilding and the size over there. They're more into bikini and men's physique. That we don't. Whoa. So how do people in Sweden, it's close to Norway, how do they react to you? Do you walk with those type of clothing in the summer out and about, or do you cover yourself? How do people react when they see you in Sweden? How's people in Sweden reacting to you?
I think it's a little bit better now than a couple of years ago. But
why?
I never go around in the city like this.
Okay.
I always cover up. So I had a bad D vitamin. I need to take some pills because
you don't see no sun.
Covered up here. When we finally have some sun, I don't go around like that.
You don't.
People will stare, and we still have some issues with the police going on here in Sweden. It's like
crazy.
they just come into the gym and they like pick a lot of people at the gym and force them to make tests. And,
it's true. That's what I told you.
I didn't believe AJ when he told me this. I thought he was.
No, it's in Norway. It's like they take you out of the gym, they test you, and they do all type of crazy shit.
Do you ever get guys that aren't big enough that get upset that they aren't arrested?
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm pretty big. Why can't I be arrested?
So, but is there? Do you have? So, can you get sponsors and things like that in Sweden for a female bodybuilder, or do you have American? Do you have sponsors first of all?
Yeah, I have some sponsors, but not like in the fitness business. I have like Garner Hull Production help me out a lot, and I have some other companies. You have to look outside the fitness, because they look to the mainstream. They want the figure girls, fitness, bikini. We're too big.
Irene, obviously when the Olympia and the female bodybuilding was taken off the roster, I think it was around 2012 because Women's Physique was brought in 2013. What was that like for that period of time where Rising Phoenix and Jake Wood hadn't stepped up and started what they started? What was that like? Because it's a question I like to ask all the top female bodybuilders, because the fact is many of you just carried on training, and regardless, even if there was no shows, but what was it like as an athlete, with kind of no place to go really for that period of time?
It was like shocking. I was 15 years old when I started. They actually showed bodybuilding on TV that time. So I was looking at all the shows and Bev Francis when she came in. We've been following it every year. And when the rumors started, it was like, no, they can't do that. It's like in the 2000th century, it's discrimination. There's no other sport that I know that they actually tell female you can't compete in that.
Yeah.
And what's disappointing is that they have all our emails addresses. We're paying our license every year on this. That they couldn't even email us and tell us that, hey ladies, thank you for having been competing all this year. Now we decided to do this because of that. Just something. I read it on Jacksani's Facebook site. I wake up in the morning, there's no more Miss Olympia.
Wow.
So I used to say, what if Serena Williams wake up tomorrow, she go into her Facebook and she see, from now, female can't compete in tennis anymore. That would be like a world thing. But because it's bodybuilding and a subculture, it's like no one really cares.
Irene, because is it fair to say that I think they thought that women's physique would kind of just completely take the place of female bodybuilding? But now it seems like, certainly in the last 2 to 3 years, I don't know if you feel this way, AJ, that female bodybuilding has really started to come back, whereas I actually see the women's physique as kind of tapering off a little bit now. I actually see more of a progression in female bodybuilding with what Jake Wood and the Rising Phoenix team are doing than there actually is in the women's physique. I think it's growing faster. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's growing faster, but the issue that me and a lot of the other bigger competitor in bodybuilding, we feel that when you look at some of the women physique girls, they are actually more shredded, more muscular, and the female bodybuilder who win the shows.
Yeah.
It's like the line should be really clear. We have female bodybuilding, women physique, but there's no line because many shows, the women physique girls are much bigger than they allow us to be.
We've seen 2 girls now coming up from physique switching to female bodybuilding. Michaela Aycock was a good women's physique, and then I saw a picture of her on a few months ago, and she was looking a lot more muscular. And I said to him, you should switch to female bodybuilding. She goes, no, I see myself as women's physique. And then last week she did the Tampa Pro and took an amazing 4th place.
It's complete, because I've started female bodybuilding closely this year.
Yeah.
It's complete chaos. It's complete.
Do you think? No, I don't. No.
With the judging, it's look at Irene. Do you agree?
I agree. I think the line is not good.
It's not at all.
I think what they need to do now is, when I started to compete 2006, 7, 8, we had the heavyweight and the lightweight. Now I think it's time, because we are getting more and more girls. Now it's time to have like the men, a 212 and an open class. Not a 212. We have to
112. 112 and then open.
175 or something and up. and down, because it's not funny to stand beside a girl who's like 160 pounds and I come in and like, of course we don't look small and petite and feminine if you stand against like a small bodybuilder. The difference is it feels weird.
Yeah.
It's like you should put the 212 and the open class and the men's together. It would be very hard to judge.
I actually think the criteria is quite separate. So when I look at the open, I mean, you get the odd show where there will be a big girl that wins a women's physique, but I think overall, I think it's pretty good. I can see a big difference between people like Irene and Margie than there is from people like Shanique and Coella. They're completely different.
I just saw Margarita, whatever her name, Margarita
Zamalova.
She was bigger than the bodybuilding girl.
No, she isn't. She's not. No, she isn't. I've seen her.
What do you think?
But she's bigger than a lot of bodybuilder girls. No names. But
Charles, she was on stage. She knows better than...
She's shredded, but she's not that big. Physically, she's not that big.
Okay. So what, back from the judging, because I don't think...
Irene would dwarf her.
So what do you usually... How many calories and what type of...
Sorry, connection's been very good, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 second. Okay, there we go. We've got you. Sorry, lost you for a second.
Yeah. A question for you, who's 200 pounds on stage. What type of calories do you eat in the off season, and what type of training regimen do you do? And who's your coach? Because I met him in Romania, I remember.
Yeah, my coach is Lars Östling. We started work, I think it's the 5th year now, and he really made me improve my physique. So I think when I started to work with him, I've been better and better every year. He trains me like 4 or 5 days a week, and he sees me every day at the gym. And I think it's good when you are that close. So he sees you every day, so he can follow up. And
is that in Gothenburg? Gothenburg.
When I go and compete, he always travel with me. So
sorry, is that in Gothenburg?
It's in Gothenburg, yes.
Right, okay, yeah, cool.
He's doing the diet, everything.
Are you sorry? You finish your question there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was thinking about the off season. I don't really know how many calories I'm on. Maybe between 2,000 and 3,000 calories, not that high.
It's not that.
And I have to go really low to get in shape. I think I'm down to like 1,200 calories for weeks before.
1,200 calories.
I've heard bikini girls eating.
Yeah, and 2-3 hours of cardio.
That's hardcore.
So you do 2-3 hours. Yeah, remember she's
old school, man. What?
So 2-3. So you do 1 hour in the morning, in the middle of the day and at night, or do you do it? What type of?
I do 1 hour in the morning at the gym, and then I go home and take out my dog for at least a half an hour and walk.
Oh wow!
And then we train in the middle of the day, and then I do 1 more hour cardio there, and then I go back to the gym most of the days in the evening also and do 1 more hour. So,
1,200 calories, and you're doing all that work and two cardio sessions and weights. That's impressive. That's impressive. So were you were you happy with your Tampa look?
Yes, I was happy about it. Maybe I still need to. What I will try to bring to the Rising Phoenix after this show is to just continue what I'm doing now, tighten up a bit more. We actually did like a totally new thing with the water and the last week preparation. So I had my points for Rising Phoenix, so I didn't have to do the Tampa show. It was more like now we have the possibility to test something totally new, see if it's better or we go back to the old concept. So we haven't really figured out if we're gonna do the same at Rising Phoenix or we will see. We have to sit down and discuss what we will do. But I was happy with my look.
Do you mix much with the other female bodybuilders? Because we've had Monique Jones, we've had Margie V Marvelous on the show, and do you actually mix much? You talk to the other ladies much?
Yeah, actually, I think that when they threw us out from Olympia from the Arnolds, then and when Wings of Strength came in and Jake, and he started to do after the show. He invited us out for dinner, and then we could sit down after the show and start to talk like a big family. So I think we are like a big family now. I have contact with the most of the girls, and we help out each other. We ask. Good. We help each other. We feel like a big family because if we feel a bit threatened, we have to stick together now. So
that's what I was shooting at.
But we want to create some drama though, because everybody's friends with the female bodybuilding. So
come on,
take a couple of questions. Take yourself out of it. Who do you think is gonna do the? Is it Helle Trivia? You know, looked amazing by the way. Weren't you impressed?
Extremely.
Wow. So who do you have winning this Phoenix Rising Championship? Take yourself out of the picture. Who do you? What's your top 4?
Yeah. Helle is in top 4, absolutely. Margie, absolutely. Then I think it's quite open. I think Helle and Margie will be in the top. The other two,
Monique.
It's really hard.
Yeah, tell us some names.
When you look how they judge the shows, you don't know if they will take in one of the smaller girls that come in got good conditioning, or they will stay on the bigger size. I don't know. It's hard.
What about? What's your opinion on this new girl? Do you think she's going to do good? We've seen her a lot over Instagram. Natalia
Amazonka. That's her Instagram name.
Do you see any potential in there, or is it a little bit too much Instagram hyped up?
Okay. Honestly, I don't think she will ever come in a bodybuilding competition shape.
Okay.
I think she's a... I don't know.
Do you think she'll compete?
I don't know. It's an Instagram phenomenon. She has good X-frame and all this, but no.
You don't think so?
I'd love to see her ripped. No. I'd love to see what she looks like. You know, right down to see how much of the crazy legs, and I wonder how much of that will stay if she gets down in really good condition, because everything's there.
That would be very interesting to see how it would turn out, but I don't think she... it's not many girls and guys who's in this sport who can actually do it. It's fucking hard.
So who do you
need to have your mind focused, and I don't know if she even wants it. I don't know.
And overall, the level of conditioning, I think, is better in the female bodybuilding than it is in... if you look at it actually case by case, I think overall the conditioning is better in the women female bodybuilding than the men's. They're more consistent.
The Tampa Pro, there was a lot of mixed in Tampa Pro. There were amazing girls in Tampa Pro, and you had some girls who haven't even dieted.
Oh, really?
So
there was...
But the women's physique are always shredded.
Yeah. So who's the girls who, because you've seen them all, who impresses you the most amongst the new girls coming up? If any.
I was thinking of some names.
There's not much.
Nothing popping up to mind.
So who's the greatest female bodybuilder for you of all time that you've seen in person? Because you've seen them all, because you've been going on for 16 years now.
Ooh. No one can beat Linda Murray.
Okay. Not even Iris. Not even Iris Kyle?
What?
No.
No, okay.
If you put it like that, it's like two different physiques.
Mm-hmm.
Two different... I love Iris' physique, she amazing physique. But the overall look and what I think that we should turn the female bodybuilding into, it's more Linda Murray look.
Yeah. It's like comparing Ronnie Coleman to Flex Wheeler, isn't it?
I love the freaky, big shredded muscle and all this. So, yeah. But if I should choose, I would choose Linda Murray.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We see her at the Wings of Strength. She's very active currently, and
she's amazing. She's traveling at all the shows, and she's so funny to hang out with.
She's
and
lovely. She's lovely.
We had dinner at the Tampa. We had so much fun about what was going on in the Tampa show and all this. We was talking about the show. And she's amazing to just sitting and hang around with.
It's so good to see her so active. Because she is such a good example of female bodybuilding. She's like that. It's like having like Ronnie Coleman at every single pro bodybuilding show there as an example of, you know, someone who really was the best, you know. It's fantastic, you know. Because you don't see Iris at so many shows, you know, but Lenda, she's there every single show, you know, and she's having pictures with everyone, and she's very encouraging. Like you said, she's having dinner with Irene and everyone, and you know, and she's really encouraging. It's nice to have that kind of you know. Kind of.
Yeah, she's talking to everybody, and she's pushing us girls before the show. She's
cool. So you're competing at when's the next show? What date is for people? What Phoenix? When is that?
That's the Rising Phoenix in Arizona. The date is 7 and 8 of September.
It's not long.
The female pro bodybuilders go up Saturday.
Okay, and then you will be at the Olympia also.
Yes, I will go to the Olympia, and as I said, hopefully we can show the film there on Thursday. So I will stay in Arizona for a couple of days after the show, and then I go over to Vegas.
Fantastic. Okay, any final questions, AJ?
I can't believe she's over 35. I'm still...
You shouldn't count.
She's older than me.
Yeah. So where can...
Actually, every Rising Phoenix is around my birthday. So on my 50 years birthday, I was competing, you know.
Wow. Fantastic.
My birthday is the 9th of September, so it's always this weekend. So either it's the day before or the day after. It's always around there. So... I remember I was sitting at the hotel room with my coach the day before the show, and it was my 50th-old birthday, and I said, it's my birthday today, and I couldn't have anything. He said, yeah, but you compete tomorrow. So.
A chicken breast.
We got it. We got to ask before we go. Who's going to win this Mr. Olympia contest?
Sorry.
Who's going to win?
Who's going to win for the men's? Give your top 3.
Depends if Phil is showing up.
No, he's not showing. Most likely, no, he's not showing up. Rhoden is out, Kai is out, Phil is out, Rami is out, Cedric is out.
Yeah.
So who's gonna win?
Me.
Everybody's out.
Sadly, yeah.
No, I think Currie will.
Yeah, Brandon Currie.
Brandon Currie. Who have you got second and then third?
I like to have Dexter up there.
Dexter second.
Yeah, I love his physique, and he looked great in Tampa, and he has some weeks more to, even more.
Yeah. Third? Third? Take a step.
What's his name?
Someone new?
No, Rowley probably will get second.
Yeah.
I think that's a likely top 3, isn't it, really?
And Bolnack might switch with Dexter, who knows?
Yeah.
Or Rowley, for that matter.
Nathan Kuclo.
These 3 in the top. I think Currie will win, Rowley maybe second, and Dexter third.
Where can people reach you if they want to get to know you better?
On my Instagram, Irene Anderson, IFBB Pro, simple.
Lovely.
So they can reach out to me, and if they wonder something about the movie, where they can find it and all this, I will.
Okay, Irene, I think that's...
Can we see...
Yeah, you actually get a bit of beef. Come on.
Irene, can we see something? You're in great shape.
While you're in this shape. Yeah! Fantastic. Whoa! Awesome shoulders.
She got
awesome shoulders.
Awesome Yeah.
Wow, striations there. Wow, awesome. That's a nice shape.
That's a nice shape, huh?
Lovely shape. Yeah, lovely shape. Okay, Irene, I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Olympia. Good luck with the Rising Phoenix. We're rooting for you. Thank you for sharing, and we'll hopefully, if Dan Solomon's watching, get that film on, because on the Thursday night, me and AJ would like to come along and show some support to all you ladies competing in female bodybuilding. So, yes. Yes, so thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
All the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Irene.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, I just tripped on the lead there.
What?
Yes. Oh, let me shut this down. Hang on. Fantastic. Yeah, she's lovely. Fantastic. Good shape.
200 pounds. She was only 5'7". I thought it was a little bit higher. But
Yeah.
That means all the girls. Are
When she said, the 212 version could be 175 and under. Like I remember back in the 90s, like 140 was big. Like 140 is. I remember there was what was the name of the bodybuilder? Oh God, who was it? It was a big girl, and she was like 160, 65, and because I think Iris Kyle's only about 145, 150. Because she actually doesn't, But I mean, she's she's wide, she's,
But imagine she's, we don't want to say her age again, but it was over 50.
It's incredible.
And look at that clean with separation in the shoulders and great skin. And this is very impressive.
It's very impressive. But you notice at the start, I said the female bodybuilders seem to go on for longer, and they managed to, like, you've got someone like Dexter.
Yeah, you said that, yeah.
Dexter's still kind of... He's 50. He's still looking as good, but he's not really got that much better. The women don't even start hitting their peak till their 40s. And they're actually like Betty Pariso was like probably, say like 53. She was looking at her all-time best. So there must be something they are doing, the way that they are approaching what they're doing, different to the guys. I'd love to know what that is. I'd love to maybe delve more with some, maybe we could get Dexter on, maybe we could get more female bodybuilders on and find out what it is, what this discrepancy of why the women just go on and on and on, and they compete and they always look good and they're always in condition.
I'm on the female muscle train, bro.
You're getting me on it now. Choo-choo.
Well, that's our first guest.
Yep, first guest on episode 31 of Global Muscle Radio. Good to be back, AJ.
Great to be back.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go to an ad break and we'll see you after the break. And we are out.
Yeah, buddy.
And welcome back to MD Global Muscle Radio here at the Pop Media Studios, joined by my co-host AJ, all the way from Norway, and we're joined by
Steve Kuclo.
Steve Kuclo, yay, said it right.
The king snake, as I like to say.
Yes.
Hey, you called me main man Kuclo today. I like that.
Oh, you're a wrestling fan, are you?
No.
The catchy phrases.
Yeah. Steve, first of all, thank you so much for coming on, because we had... because obviously you're with the AMI, so we're really happy that we were given permission by Dan Solomon and Angelica, because Dan actually rang me last week and he said, look, I've approved that, so you're good to go with Steve Kuclo to get him on MD Global Muscle Radio. So big thank you there to Dan. So thank you so much for joining us. It's great to have an athlete that we previously thought we wouldn't have access to. So.
Oh, I used to read the magazines back in Norway, when Steve Kuclo turned pro. Mm-hmm. Oh, 2010, 11, wasn't it?
Yeah,
12? Yeah. Oh, those were still great days, but we remember you with fond memories from back then, Steve.
Yeah, it's I like to say that was like a mini golden age of the national level bodybuilding, because it got such good coverage, and people almost followed that more than they did the pro circuit, because everybody wanted to know who was the guys coming up, and it was it was awesome. But I could see a resurgence coming. Bodybuilding's, I think, making a comeback.
Do you think?
You think?
Yeah, you see that? I thought USA's had an amazing talent there, so the guys look really good, and it's good to see some good talent coming up.
Circle. What's his name again?
Zach Merkel.
Zach Merkel.
Yeah.
And great talent.
Yeah. So you were there, were you, Steve?
I wasn't there. I saw the photos of the lineup and all the results, and it was very good.
Yeah. And how's your Steve Kuclo Classic? How was that? It was 2 months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really good. We're growing that show every year. We've had it 4 years already, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. It's one of the biggest shows in Texas, because Texas is a big market, and we're able to kind of give back to the athletes. And I put on a show, like, I look at myself as what I would want as an amateur competitor after doing all these shows, and what would be like the coolest show to have the best trophies, the best venue. And I make it like I always tell them, I said, I'm spoiling you guys and you don't know it yet. But
what's different with yours? What do you have there? How many athletes do you have?
We had across the stage, including crossovers this year, 450.
Wow.
So was a really big show. I mean, we've kind of grown at about 10% every year. So when you think about on a number scale of competitors, that's really big.
So how many years? So how many years have you done the show for?
4 years.
Oh, 4 years. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
2020 will be our 5th year.
Wow. So that's obviously because you're from Dallas, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Dallas, Texas, yourself with Amanda. Yeah. So Steve, obviously, I kind of feel like this is a kind of a big year for you.
Very.
I think there's a lot of rumblings. I think people want to see you. I think we're very excited to see you at the Olympia, and I think your name has come up. AJ knows what I'm going to say.
But
your name has come up as someone that we want to see move right up. If that's fair. If that's fair.
I like that. I appreciate that.
You see where I'm going with this?
And there's many reasons for that. But this is the time, I think. Because just one question: when you how many pounds do you usually put on stage weight each year since you turned pro from now?
You know, I've turned pro at about high 250s. So I was like 257, 258, somewhere in there. And at the Indy Pro this year, I was about 285 on stage.
285. So, how tall are you, Steve?
About 6 foot.
Oh, you're tall. I didn't realize you were that tall.
So how many pounds that is like a 4 pound stage weight every 5 pounds quality pounds every year, or
know, it kind of fluctuates. A little bit how my body matures and grows, and it feels like 1 year you may not put on any weight, but you'll see a different look on stage. But this year it was kind of a combo of both. Like my weight held as I dieted down, and then I definitely kind of brought a new look. I think as I'm starting to mature, as I start getting older, my body is showing that muscle maturity, which everybody always talks about. So I'm starting to hit that prime.
And you're still young, by the way. It's only 34, 35, 34?
It's nothing, is it?
34 in about 10 days.
Yes. 6 foot, 290 pounds.
I'm feeling it now. I'm feeling it. I mean, I thought your Indy Pro, I think that was one of the best looks I've ever seen from you at the Indy Pro this year. Because I saw it at the Arnold Classic last year and this year. But for me, that Indy Pro look, that was like, yes, he's really starting to nail that real, the real good combination of fullness and hardness. I mean, your shoulders, everything. I've never seen you pop like that.
Yeah, it really, for me, it's kind of been a learning game through the whole process. Obviously, with a bigger body, it takes so much more food, and if you're trying to fill up and show fullness, because if I'm flat, I look soft and I don't quite bring that crispness, but I'll be in shape. But then if I bring the fullness, it'll really show more detail for me. And I've learned, I really need to eat, not be afraid of eating, and when I do that, it really. It showcases my physique, kind of what I did this year at the Arnold and the Indy. It really brought it that next level.
Yeah, I think for last year, because I'll be honest, before last year, I hadn't personally seen you with like really like ripped glutes, hamstrings, detail in the back. You kind of always had the great silhouette, but always felt like you lacked a bit of fine detail. Then I saw you at the Arnold Classic last year, and I was like, and you turned to the back, and I was like, whoa, you finally got the real etched in detail, And then obviously you moved it again forward at the Indy Pro. So tell us, how's the Olympia prep going?
Olympia prep is going really well. I started prep. Usually I start my prep kind of a little bit lighter than I compete at, and I kind of grow into the show.
Okay.
But I kind of rode the post-show, rebound a little bit after the Indy. Got my weight up to like 295, and it kind of held there, which was nice. So I went into the diet heavier than I have my past few diets, but holding a good condition. So my fullness has been really good. My strength is good. I just got to make sure I take care of some little nagging injuries or like pains and stuff like that. So I've been on top of that. But other than that, prep is on point. I feel like I'm in a good spot for my being about 5.5 weeks out right now.
5.5 weeks, yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm really, very focused, and I know the next 5 weeks is kind of, you got to put the blinders on and really be prepared for war, because it's time to suffer.
I'm glad we got you on now rather than 2 or 3 weeks. I think we'd get more out of you on this one, because
a little more.
Last 5-6 weeks, that's when I would say that the last 4 weeks, especially, that's the one that separates the men from the boys. That's when it goes from a physical challenge to a real mental one. That's when that's when the mind games and you're feeling flat and you're seeing things that aren't there, So is that when it really hits hard for you?
It does. To me, it's like I always tell people, if you're happy and go lucky and you got a ton of energy 2 weeks out, you're not where you need to be. So I know I don't really get like moody or anything, but I get very tired just because energy levels are low, body fat's low. So I'll have kind of that dieter brain where you forget little things and be like, what was I supposed to do? And it just, forget things, or you get, the hunger keeps you up at night. And so there is that, there's that mental side, like you said. That's probably one of the most difficult parts going into the last bit of a prep is just overcoming that mental fight. The hunger, the lack of sleep, the being overtrained, being constantly sore, and your body just it's kind of a very uncomfortable state. But obviously, the guys at the top level, the guys that are competing in Olympia, everybody has a very strong mind and is strong mentally to get through it.
So for me, last year I saw a real, after a number of years of you kind of looking, consistently good. Last year, like I said, at the Arnold Classic, I saw a real jump up in terms of conditioning, overall muscle quality. What changed?
The way I for several years, I felt like, there's only a few variables you could ultimately change in bodybuilding. You have your genetics, which are pretty much set, but you can look at your training, you can look at nutrition, and you can look at supplements. Yeah. And between those three things, I've always kind of, I played with diets, different diets and stuff like that. But ultimately, like when you're coming down and trying to get into shape, there's not a whole lot you can maneuver with food. And it's not that there's some magic formula. You got to figure out what works for you, and it eventually does. Supplements, I've never been a guy to be like, what, I'm gonna risk my health to try to do something. I always try to do things smart, think longevity. And then, the third was training. And then that's when I connected with my current trainer, Gina Davis, who she took over my training. She's a retired pro bodybuilder.
Okay. I recognize the name.
Yeah. From back in the early 2000s, so I seen her take some local guys and make them look really good. Yeah. So a lot of trainers, they get some guys with a lot of talent, great genetics, and they make them look good. I mean, that's an achievement. But to me, you take somebody that's okay, take a piece of coal and turn it into a diamond. Yeah. What you're, so I got with her. I trusted what she put together for me, and we, I was working coinciding nutritionally with George Farah, and then working with Gina on my training. And then George got real sick, at the time, and so I ended up having Gina take over my nutrition about a year and a half ago, along with my my training together. So kind of marrying the nutrition and the training, both of them together. Really, it just works. Everything comes together. She knows what I'm doing in the gym, and then having food and nutrition meet the training. So the combo of those two, and doing some different rep ranges and tempos and more intensity and different things, really, I think kind of my body went to a little bit of a, hey, I haven't tried this before. I haven't seen this before. Let's grow. Let's try to change to adapt to this. And I think that's really what helped my body kind of start really growing again in the right direction.
Do you think muscle maturity, because you're still so young, really, 34, really, to be you've been around for a few years, and you've done Olympias and you've won pro shows. Do you think muscle maturity is really starting to kick in now?
Yeah, I do see that. I'm noticing, muscles kind of sticking a little bit more as I'm dieting. It's not like I diet and I lose all this weight and I'm fighting to hold on to muscle. It feels like as I'm dieting, that muscle sticks more, and that to me, and it gives you that little bit more detail or that little bit grainier look. Yeah. So I think, like you said, when I showed up at the Arnold and had a little bit more detail through the glutes, through the hamstrings, and then it's all starting to kind of the years and years of training is all starting to work.
Yeah. So this Olympia, we have no current champion. Phil Heath is out. Kai Green is out. Big Ramy is out. Cedric is out.
Anymore?
No. But you are like, when you step out on stage, you hear the crowd. They go crazy when you go out. Yeah. You can hear it. Like, even though you're a top guy, but you're not top 3 yet. But the reaction is after you were top 3. This prep here, does this motivate you to give us something extra? Because Kuclo, this could be it. Because
that's right. He's right.
Because you are what can I say? 6 foot, very handsome,
He's like a 6-foot Jay Cutler, isn't he?
Been with the same company, Allmax, isn't Allmax? Ex-fireman,
paramedic,
American, just like same relationship for a long time with Amanda Lotono, is a great speaker who's been on all Olympia webcast.
Yeah.
Kuclo, isn't this? Do you feel something going now? Does this motivate you, or what's going on?
Absolutely, man. It's like all the pieces are aligning. You know, it's like
we see it, we're feeling it.
But do you feel it yourself?
No, I do. I think there is, with the Olympia, kind of having to pay your dues and work your way up. I mean, you look at any of the previous Mr. Olympias like Ronnie and Jay, they didn't come out the gate, placing top 3.
That's right.
So it definitely is kind of a proving ground where you have to show your worth, show that, hey, this guy is a top guy. And I feel, the package that I'm going to bring this year, which you've seen kind of earlier this year, I think it is definitely going to get me into that mix of getting that first call out. I think you give me the chance to get in the first call out, and I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight and show that I could be that top spot. And that's and I be the first few years I remember doing the Olympia and almost doing it as a fan. I'm there and I'm kind of, oh, like, this is so cool. Like, but now I do it and I'm like, you know what? I got that kind of that competitor mentality now where I'm like, I'm here. These guys are my competition. Yeah. I love the guys. We got all great relationships and we respect one another. But when we step on that stage, it's time to go to war. So
who'd you most want to stand next to in that? Who would you really want to be right next to so you can be compared?
When you think about it, I mean, say if I get in a top 5 call out with somebody like with Bonac, with Currie, with Dexter, with Rolly, I mean, really size-wise, structurally, I'll be the biggest guy. Between Bonac and Dexter, and I mean, they're not very big guys overall. They got great muscle, their development and everything, but I don't know, say they're competing at 240, I want to be 285 on stage, and visually that kind of stands out. I mean, that's why guys like Dennis Dennis Wolf and guys like Big Ramy. I mean, when they're on stage, you look at them, you're like, that's impressive because they're such big. They got.
There's not many of them left now, is there? The really tall white guys. It's we want to see it.
Not to be too negative, but there's one thing we want to see. You're posing.
I was going to bring that up. Sorry, Steve.
It's great You get a great reaction. Don't get me wrong, but there are some improvements that can be made. Do you agree, or?
Absolutely, and I like positive
Steve.
Criticism. I absolutely do. And I'm not a Kai Green. I don't have that kind of flow, and I can't pop lock quite like those guys. No, but as far as I definitely like being more of a powerful posing routine. A lot of guys do I'm going to say boring music. It puts the crowd to sleep. When I get out there, I like rock and roll. I like heavy metal. I like stuff that brings energy. So that's what I like about what I do.
Steve, if we can get you to commit to this now, I want to see the first full minute of your routine fully choreographed. I want to see it fully choreographed, and then you can go off and do what you want to do on stage. You can do what you want. It's fine. It's okay. Yeah, but I'll give you the thumbs up.
You might win the Olympia, Steve.
Yeah, you got to do something. You got to do an epic routine.
Yep.
Come on, it's Olympia.
Absolutely. No, we're gonna. I will have that choreographed. Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
So we've seen you in the White House. We've seen you on TV. Is there any exciting news in your camp? What's going on? Something we don't know.
For us, it's it's kind of all focus, all efforts, and everything on Olympia right now. So I try to minimize distractions and try to minimize outside things that I have to do. Obviously, running businesses I still have to work and focus on them and give time and effort. But we're just plugging away. My wife and I, we had our show earlier in the year, like you mentioned. Yeah. But we run, Booty Queen Apparel, my wife's apparel line on a regular basis. And then
what is that, by the way? Can you tell us more about? Can you tell us more about that? Because we want to know more about that. Was
this a thing on Shark Tank?
Yeah. Yes. What we went on Shark Tank. So we had. We were on Shark Tank about 2 years ago, and been all online, and the company has been a steady growth, and really since then it's been because we didn't really go to school for business it's been a learning process along the way. So it's not like we have we're two fitness people that got into business, but we have them. I think that's one of the aspects of competing and being into bodybuilding, that the determination, the not give up attitude, like that kind of the discipline that goes behind that allows you to be successful in a lot of other areas in life. So I think applying those into business have helped us, overcome, tough and stressful times, and, times when we got bills to pay and we're trying to figure out what we have to do. And so juggling a lot of things, but, we opened up a retail store actually in Dallas. We're in a mall. We actually have our own retail store now. And
hang on a minute. Are you still in partnership with a friend of mine, Bill Bingham?
Oh yeah, Billy.
Yeah, Bill. I used to share an apartment with Bill 20 years ago.
Oh,
no, we worked together, same company. Yeah. Bill Bingham. Yeah, because I was actually in Dallas 2016. I was at the Europa, and Bill picked us up, and he said he was talking about you. I went to Bill's house, and he was talking about, obviously, because he was in business with you with a couple of supplement stores.
Yeah, exactly. No, I sold him my portion of that, and just to focus on there's only so many balls you can juggle in life. I think between if you spread yourself too thin, certain things are going to suffer. So I've tried to minimize certain things on our plate, especially with traveling a lot for All Max, making appearances. That takes a lot of time, and and we love doing that, but also trying to run businesses as well, and even the life of social media as an athlete, I mean, that's a full-time job, getting pictures and doing things. Back in the day, we didn't have to worry about that. We just did our photo shoots for the magazines, and that was it. But now we have to be on top of it.
Why did you open it? Most people sell their fitness clothing just online. Why did you open a retail store?
We felt like we wanted to have kind of a headquarters, so kind of a flagship store. Dallas is a great market for us, and we figured a lot of people wanted to always send emails and contact us saying, "Hey, I'm in town," or "I'm in Dallas. Do you guys have a store we could come and see stuff and try stuff on?" So we made it to where it's not only our headquarters as a brand, but we're able to utilize the space we have to host events, and we really, it's catered to women, and my wife does such an amazing job with inspiring women and helping women in different things, and the way she speaks and motivates women. So it's really kind of, the brand embraces that and ties that into what our ultimate goal is with the brand. It's not necessarily about trying to compete with Nike or Lululemon, but it's creating a community that's very positive for women that go through different things in life that they struggle with, that my wife can put a positive word in their ear and hopefully help them.
Talking of Amanda, is she there?
She is over here.
Hey, Amanda. Amanda, I was at the 2010 Olympia. I was covering it for bodybuilding.com, and I 100% had you winning the Olympia that year. No, I did. 100%.
Winning too, actually.
No disrespect to the other wonderful ladies, but I definitely had you winning that year. 100%.
Yes, thank you. I love you guys. Thank you.
Very wise.
I have been told that by myself.
Our good friend Sergio Olivia is a good friend of the show. Who made make bodybuilding great again? Who made that first? I just saw you had that on now.
Oh, yeah.
I heard some. We haven't followed the drama really, but what's that about?
It really wasn't a whole lot of drama. I think it was. I started kind of hashtagging it a few years ago. Okay. And I think he made a hat like maybe a couple months after I started kind of hashtagging it and stuff like that. And then I started doing some T-shirts and stuff like that as well. Okay. But it really is not like, it's nothing that's trademarked. I don't have it trademarked or anything. But it's it's just something that I like to use. It kind of goes with the political landscape of what's going on in America. So for me, it just I'm able to apply it, kind of create the spin on words and have a little humor with it. But also a lot of people like that concept too.
Well, for you, if you win the Mr. Olympia contest, how will you be as a Mr. Olympia champion? What will be different with you compared to what we've seen before?
To me, to me, one of the greatest ambassadors for the Mr. Olympia title has been Jay Cutler. I think the guy has really paved the way for what a Mr. Olympia should do. Yeah. So for me, I would mirror what he's done, but also like for me, if I was Mr. Olympia, I'm going to try to get as much good exposure for the sport as I can around the world. Let's get on mainstream television shows. Let's get on things that they can get in front of the normal world, the people that really don't know about bodybuilding, and they could see that this guy isn't just a ball of muscle that has no brains. This guy, it could be articulate. This guy could hold a conversation. This guy could talk about different things and really be a good representative for the sport. I mean, this is something we all love. We're all passionate about it.
But, I mean, even not as Mr. Olympia, as an athlete, you can still do that anyway. But do you do stuff like TV stuff? And because I mean, you're a very marketable couple.
Have you tried some what's it called, those soaps document? Have you ever tried for some of those, Days of Our Lives or
Days of Our Lives?
Have you tried?
No, I'm not ruling out the movie down the road or something that we could get into. I definitely think it's something that I would be willing to do and would like to do. But I do think that what the few previous Mr. Olympias have missed is really taking advantage of that title, being Mr. Olympia. I mean, there's a lot of great guys that are in the top of the IFBB in our sport, but to be the Mr. Olympia, I mean, you hold the crown. You're the guy that can go on any late night television show or go on it. People are going to obviously respect that, and people are going to want to know more about it. And so I think it can be even getting to schools and getting in front of kids and being just a positive influence in the world for all kinds of people. It is really what Mr. Olympia needs to be.
But have you, as an athlete, as an IFBB pro, have you done anything like that for just as you are now, as a marketable?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, when we travel, when we go to expos or we make events. We go to events for Allmax and stuff like that. We get to meet so many people, and people get to come and talk to us on a more one-on-one basis, other than what they see on Instagram or Facebook and social media. So they're able to really, connect with the athlete, connect with a person that seems like a celebrity. Just because I'm on a magazine or I hold a title doesn't change the person who I am. So humility goes a long way, and that's I think years of being a firefighter has taught me that being kind of in a service-oriented, being a service-oriented person and somebody that kind of respects and serves his community, really I carried through life.
I mean, I remember speaking to Cedric McMillan about this, and he said one of the best parts about being in this position as a pro athlete, you get to inspire a lot of people that you do actually get to meet at these events, like people who'd lost, who'd met him, and then they'd stayed in touch on DMs and stuff, and saying, "Oh, you've helped me, inspire me to lose weight and improve my health." Do you have a lot of experiences like that with fans?
Oh, absolutely. Like I put out a question the other day on Instagram, you could do on little stories, ask a question. And I said, what is your journey, or what's been an inspiring thing that you've had that pushes you in your fitness journey? And I had hundreds of comments and messages that were, people had, that a lot were saying, "Hey, you inspired me the way you, have had kind of a blue collar career and just worked your way up. And, you've inspired me to lose weight or get back in shape or not, make excuses for, wanting to compete or wanting to get fit again." I think, people are always like, "Well, I can't have a full-time job and compete, or I can't have a full-time job and turn pro." I mean, I did that in 2011. I worked on the busiest ambulance in the city of Dallas. I turned pro and, worked 56 hours a week and didn't have any excuses,
I remember when I interviewed at the Arnold Classic in 2011 at the Expo. I was walking around with my own camera equipment. I was just doing everything by myself. And I said, "Steve, can I grab an interview?" And I'd never really spoke to Steve that much. And I remember because something you said stuck with me, because I mean, when I was kind of competing around that time. I remember you saying that when you were on work and you're on a call out or something like that, you said sometimes you wouldn't eat for sometimes like up to 5 hours. And in the early days, you used to stress about losing muscle and everything like that. And then you realized, actually, you don't lose muscle because it's a big concern for people who do work. That's what I'm trying to say, with regards to that. And you said, sometimes as long as you get your food in through the day, if you go 5 hours because of your job, it's not the end of the world.
Right, exactly. Like, I mean, if we lost muscle at that rate, I mean, our population would be close to being extinct, I think. But I mean, when you think about it, there was times where I did go 5-6 hours without eating, being up all night, and very stressful, high cortisol, work. But, I never made that an excuse. And I always tried to make it all happen. Like whether it meant me putting a couple meals closer together, where I ate like an hour apart just to get a couple in.
Yeah.
Or, if I went 4, 5, 6 hours, I'd be starving. I mean, it would be one of those situations where I would get back to the station and I would literally sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to get this meal in. I just warmed it up right in front of me, and you get another call. And you're just like, you're ready to scream, You're like, but, I never made that. I never made that an excuse for not making it happen.
And I remember you said to me in that interview, you said about when you sometimes, like, if you've got to break a door down with an axe or something, you said it's actually really good cardio. And he said it's really good for getting the aggression out, just smashing that door. And he said it's actually quite therapeutic. Quite therapeutic.
Exactly. I mean, especially when it's 100 degrees here in Texas and in the middle of the summer, and you get in a fire. So I mean, you've never sweat more in your life.
Good cardio, like a sauna.
I want to know one thing. What's your favorite victory ever?
Victory?
Yeah.
I always say that the USA's that I won in 2011 holds a special place because you only get a chance to turn pro once. And that, it's a title that was back in the day when they only had 1 or 2 guys turn pro per pro show. And it was, I went a few years where it was, guys battling out. I was in that top 3 for like 3 or 4 years. And it was just like, man, you want it so bad because you're so close. So that's to me one of my favorite victories. And I would probably say, everyone really holds a special place. It really does. But I'm going to say that hopefully the 2019 Mr. Olympia holds.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew it.
That would be something,
Steve, like AJ says, sometimes you've got to speak things into existence.
Absolutely. I think if people did that, my wife just had a speaking event that she did recently. She said, if people spoke the way that if something was to happen, 20 seconds after you said it, people would really change the way they spoke. Like you wouldn't be saying, man, I'm so tired, I feel like I could die. Like in 20 seconds later you died. Like, people wouldn't be saying that. But if you spoke, positive things, it's gonna reflect in show in your life. Things are going to be a lot better.
Have you done any practice with, because I know Amanda does the compare and everything at the Arnold, and she's very good, and you do a lot of stuff online, and have you two worked on any sort of public speaking? Because this is something I was talking to Phil Heath the other week on the tour. I was saying, he was talking about how he's practicing, and it's really helping it's helping opportunities come to him, it's helping inspire people. Have you worked on anything like that?
I won't ask that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we've really considered and started. I mean, not necessarily practicing on a regular, but making a lot more speaking events and doing a lot more events where we do speak. And I think the more you do it, the more improved you get in your speaking, the better things flow. And there's definitely because when you're in our case, we're doing everything off the fly, and there's really nothing written down, and it's more question answer and just conversation. But to speak in front of people, I mean, you really have to think, on your toes, and you have to be sharp in what your answers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's something that we do enjoy doing. I think my wife's very talented in it. And I actually, when I watch her do it, she actually I learn from her.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the Shark Tank episode, but I remember seeing about it. Who did most of the talking?
Oh, that was my wife.
Leave it to the boss. He's just a muscle.
She's got the assets, that we were going there with, but no, she did a lot of the talking, and when it was time to interject some of the business stuff where we talk numbers and different things, that's where I kind of spoke up. But we did our pitch. The way they wanted us to do the pitch was to kind of split it. So she would say like a few sentences, I would say a few sentences, and it would kind of all flow together.
Yeah, the black guy tried to hit on her all the time while he was there.
Did he?
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, and then on TV, when we were in that Shark Tank for like 45 minutes, so they only show about 8 minutes.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So on the aired show, I mean, it only looks like I said a few sentences, but I did speak a lot more than what it showed.
Was that a nerve-wracking experience?
That was terribly nerve-wracking.
Oh, well, because in the UK we have a version called Dragon's Den, and I know people who've been on there, and they said it is literally one of the most terrifying things you'll ever do. Even when you go up in the elevator and the cameras are on you, and they zoom in on them because people like to see how terrified they are. You know, it's honestly, it's really like I can feel sorry for these people, man.
It is. Just a funny story on that. It'd be. So we shot that literally right after Mr. Olympia. We flew from Vegas to LA.
Oh wow!
And they were doing the recordings for that season.
Yeah.
The following week. So we flew out there, had to kind of audition in front of the producers and just to show the pitch.
Yeah.
And then you never meet the sharks, so it's not like you get a chance to meet them beforehand. So again, it's the first time that you're meeting the sharks. And it's the first time you really get a chance to walk on that set. The time you literally walk on the set.
Yeah.
And when you walk through it, there's probably 100 lights, 50 cameras, and you can kind of see like 100 people standing around, and you're like, oh my gosh, like I hope I don't mess this up, because it's all shot on the premise of if you screw up, there's no restarts. It's like you get one shot.
Exactly. So you would say that's more scary than walking on stage at the Olympia in a little thong?
I say if somebody was to walk on stage for the first time, never competing on Olympia stage, they probably would be as scared.
That's comparable, isn't it?
A lot of shows you're kind of used to the stage thing, but as far as in the back of your mind, Shark Tank reaches 5 to 10 million when they first air that first episode.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking 10 million people are going to see me. Like you trying not to be nervous, but you're nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was the feedback right after the show? Was it a lot of good feedback?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Even like when we just finished, the Sharks were real positive with us because they, we kind of broke the ice. As soon as we walked out, I'm in a tank top. My wife's got, she's got her outfit on, and they were like, look at these two, immediately. We're not like talking shit, but they were like kind of shooting it with us, where they were instead of trying to be business, it kind of went to, hey, these guys are cool. Let's kind of learn about what they do.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool about that. But as after the Shark Tank, it was, even to this day, people recognize us from the show.
Fantastic.
At the mall, when they walk in the store, they're like, I saw you guys on, if we're in there working, people be like, I saw you on, the show. And so we're kind of a memorable episode, I guess you could say, just because there's not a lot of
different physical.
It was a couple of years ago. I think it was after that Olympia, because I think I saw it at one of the Arnolds, and you looked quite downsized, and there was rumors that you weren't going to compete again. So and then after, and then all of a sudden you kind of turned.
When was this?
Oh, it's about a couple of years ago now. What was it? One of the Olympias,
Yeah.
2016 Olympia, maybe.
Not going to compete again.
No, it was. That's what I heard, and I was walking past you, and I saw you and Amanda, and I thought, oh, he's like he's lost a bit of size, he's trimmed up, he was probably like 30, 40 pounds down, and then obviously he turns up at the Arnold Classic looking his best ever. Were you actually? Did you ever think about maybe not competing again, or because I heard rumors that you weren't going to compete again?
No. The way I always, I still have a really good fire inside of me to compete, and I always tell people, I still got a lot of gas left in my tank, and I always listen to my body. Again, I'm not trying to force it, but as far as doing this, I do what I love, and I get to train and compete to be one of the best in the world, and I'm going to do it until I really feel like, okay, it's my time. It's. Some guys don't know when to kind of pull the plug and say, hey, it's my time. But, I definitely want to, when I'm ready to go out, it's going to be going on a high note.
Well, you're 34, you're injury free, you've got every opportunity. It's like now, like AJ said at the start.
He's younger than Brandon, he's younger than Sergio, he's younger than Bonac.
But he's not so young that he hasn't got the muscle maturity.
No.
It's like he's kind of that mid-30 ranges. If eyes are on you at that point and you're really doing well and you've got everything in place, that kind of really is that's the year to really kind of seize it,
Absolutely. No, I couldn't agree more. I think that not only mentally would I be ready, but physically I feel like my body is to that point where it could be. I think you look at the guys in the last 4 or 5 Olympias, maybe even longer, the top 5 or 10 guys maybe 20 years ago could have been Mr. Olympia. The way I think the quality competitors now are so much better and closer in through the whole field. Okay. Back in the day, top 5 would be absolutely incredible, and then it would kind of fall off.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But I think, all around, I feel that I am ready to get in that top call out and show the world what I'm made of.
So how do you think this year's Olympia is going to go down? And that's a very open question. Overall.
I think last year that it felt like there was a whole new energy and resurgence that happened after Shawn won. I mean, we were all backstage, and then when we heard Shawn getting announced that he's the Mr. Olympia, I mean, everybody went crazy because they're like, all right, like we got a new champ. This is exciting. So for us, I mean, as competitors, I think there's a energy like, you know what? Anybody can go in the show next year and possibly win this show. It's not like it's, Phil's doing it again and Phil's probably going to win. So that was always kind of in the back of your mind. But doing it now, being that it's kind of a wide open, there's an open door for anybody to walk through and say, this is my title. So it's time to really prove it.
Do you have that mentality going into this Olympia?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm crossing every T, dotting every I, and making sure I do all my homework that I have to do to bring my best package. And I'm not a guy that likes to necessarily. I like to do preps a little more methodically than like kind of rush and just try to get in shape in a few weeks kind of thing. Like I like to make slow changes and see how things are working, and it's worked well for me to be able to maintain my size and still keep my food in and not have to starve through my whole diet. So it's been a good prep.
So what is after the Indy Pro, did you sit down with your coach and say, right, I think this is what we need to do for the Olympia? Have you got because we speak to say take Nathan Asha, for example. He will experiment with different looks and different preparations, last minute protocols and stuff like that. Yeah. And he will go for different looks in different shows and literally bring like a different physique for 3-4 different shows in a row. What is your plan for the Olympia with your physique?
I think that same kind of a thing applied to what I did this year at the Arnold. We tried to really go for broke, for the lack of better words. But when I say that is we tried to just really get as full as possible to see how full I can get. And I really don't necessarily spill over. I hold my condition through, kind of a carb up and stuff very well. So we really fed, and it got to a point where I was a little bit uncomfortable. Not that my body looked bad, but I was like, you know what? Like I feel like I've eaten so much that I almost feel uncomfortable, So for the Indy, we pulled it back a little bit and just, we fed, but probably 90% of what I did for the Arnold. And I felt a lot more comfortable on stage, just not feeling like I was bloated or feeling like I had so much food in me that it's, the last few days, it gets hard to digest all that food when you're starting to cut water and try to really dry out. So I think this Olympia, combining those two different looks and figuring out which one I liked better and kind of and polishing that last few days is going to bring, I think, a really nice, clean package.
Yeah.
No, I'm just hyped.
He's just listening.
Yeah, I'm just listening.
Let's just talk about, if you're competing on the Friday, when would you start carbing up? Do you carb up early just so you got a couple of days to pull it back if necessary?
Yeah, going into the last week, we usually start carving up because the Olympia is a little different of a show. Obviously, being a Friday show, not all Saturdays. Yeah. There's two. You kind of have to peak twice. Yeah. And it's the thing that I think a lot of guys struggle with, including myself, is everybody always looks better at the finals. Everybody always looks better the next day. So it's been. So the kind of what we've tried to do is how do we try to nail it for prejudging? How do we try to get that finals look for prejudging?
So you want to look your best at the prejudging?
Because ultimately that's where you're judged the most. Yeah. That's where majority of the judging is done. Now they do judge finals in the routines. What's that? No. Yeah. So we're for carb up and stuff, we're doing. I usually start Wednesday. We start pushing carbs a little bit, seeing how it goes. And then if we need to bump food, we just keep coming up. But I don't like to just kind of cram it all into one day and try to do 1 or 2 day carb up, just because, again, you put so much food inside, it's just not enough time to digest and your body to absorb it. So doing things a little bit more methodically and planned out is, to me, what's always worked best.
See, the thing is, because the guys like yourself are so tall and so heavy, you've got to kind of get the food in, because you don't want to end up with that kind of distension, because that's, if you leave it too late and you do a 1 or 2 day carb up and you shovel in too much food. I remember speaking to Ronnie and he said about Chad Nichols, he said he would shovel so much food into him, he says it would hurt. And I've seen Flex Lewis. I've seen Flex Lewis the night before a show in his hotel room, and his stomach was like that but then the next day he turned up and his stomach was perfectly flat. You know, so it's that timing. You know,
at the Arnold is pushing so much food. Where if it was uncomfortable, where you're like, man, I feel like I got a bowling ball in my stomach, and I hope I'm able to digest this. And everything's. There's so many moving pieces the last few days that you try to minimize variables. To me, it's like I always use the analogy. A lot of people try to look 1% better and risk looking 99% worse.
Yes.
Yeah. Crazy formula little thing instead of if you look great 2 weeks out, 1 week out, why do just it takes just make some small changes, get on stage and do work.
Yeah, but that takes a lot of confidence to do because we all athletes when they compete, you always think, right, I'm going to do whatever it takes those last couple of days to really try and I'm going to eat so much food and I'm going to really cut my water and to try and then sometimes it can go really right or it can go, like you said, really, really wrong.
Absolutely. So to me, that risk is not worth that. Maybe looking a little bit better, but having the right formula and really just and kind of making small adjustments. You say, if we need to bump food a little bit because your body's ripping through it, and then we do that. But if it means pulling back a little bit, not going as extreme with food, we do that too. So that's why having a good coach in your corner and somebody that you trust, that cares, that can, really have a good eye. Being a paramedic, I know a lot about the body, and I know how it works, and I know how to manipulate minerals and how to manipulate water and certain things. The body functions need these things. And my coach does as well. So that's why I trust Gina. She's very smart in that aspect because I've had some people tell me, coaches, to try to do something, and I'm like, why would I do that? That's kind of going everything against what the body, physiology actually is.
Yeah, so it has to make sense to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So with Dan Solomon now, because he's in charge with, and obviously now you're an AMI athlete. Do you have good communications? Do they communicate much with you, the athletes, to sort of say, look, how do you think we can make the Olympia better?
They haven't done that. I think Dan's done a really good job, though, kind of stepping in. He's got big shoes to fill, and I think the Olympia, everybody's eyes are on the Olympia being our Super Bowl of shows. And he's done a good job. The team they brought over were a lot of the people from AMI and from Weider. Right. Angelica's there running a lot of the Olympia stuff. And between them, they're doing a really good job. I mean, I see the way they're marketing a little bit differently. The way they're promoting the show is different. So it's good to kind of have a change, I think, to kind of reignite some new ideas and some new ways of doing things. Because, Dan has done a good job with his the way he's broadcast all the big shows, the way he knows that the fans want to be able to see and be involved in some way of these shows. So I know that the broadcast is going to be great. People are going to be able to watch the show all over the world. Good. But I think for people to really experience it, you need to get out to Vegas and you need to get a ticket to the show.
Yes, that's what's good with Don, because he's a pure bodybuilding fan. Yes, so he knows what the fans want, and he promised better streaming quality for people who can't go. Yep, we're still going to have the People Champion Award. He said, I think he said it. Yeah, I think he said it. I'm not sure.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. Sorry, I'm not feeling it, guys.
Me either. Some celebrity actions going on. We have Jay Cutler as ambassador. Yeah. We have the 212 guys going to finish on Friday night alone. So it's going to be exciting. Some new changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, I definitely heard a lot of rumors, and I spoke to Dan a few weeks ago. Yeah. Just asking him to clarify some of them. I heard that the show, the men's bodybuilding was going to be maybe a one-day show now, or they've talked. I heard all kinds of things that people were saying, but that the 212 Friday night, they're actually going to close prejudging, I think. So that's going to be cool to see that, and be able to, because I think the last few years some of the shows been kind of dragged out a little bit, and it's hard for the competitors. We're backstage, we're trying to time getting on stage, and they'll say, hey, you're going to be on stage at 8 o'clock, and then it's 9:30, and we're still not on. So that's where you start trying to make sure, okay, am I starting to flatten out a little bit because it's been an hour and a half from when I'm trying to peak, and I need to eat again, and so there's a lot of challenges that people don't think about when we're backstage, really trying to nail that 15 minutes on stage.
Yeah.
You know, it could really, in a matter of minutes, your body's changing.
Yeah, but with an event like the Olympia with so many moving parts, it's like the format has to constantly. People say, "Oh, it shouldn't keep changing," but it has to constantly evolve with all the new categories and all the. You know, it's such a huge. Every single year I go to the Olympia, it's slightly different because they're trying to improve it every single year.
No, exactly, and I that's why I seeing the sport grow, and they're doing a great job promoting it. I seeing the new divisions. Yeah. I think they're doing a good job of bringing, not necessarily awareness, but I think they're increasing the prize money for like the women and stuff like that. So I think it's all really good things that's happening.
Yeah. Okay, AJ, have you got any final questions for Mr. Kuclo?
No, it's just as we follow the sport for a long time, and we're still young enough to really be in the know. It's like. I want either Brandon Currie to win or Steve Kuclo to win. Because I feel that will be the guys who represent the title.
He likes that.
What can I see? I'm 6'5", so as a taller guy, it's just so refreshing to see a taller man like yourself. Because bodybuilding is, some people want to look like. You want to we look up to bodybuilders. You know, when you walk out in the mainstream, people want to look up to a bodybuilder. And when you meet the bodybuilders 5'5", 5'6", yes. But when you meet somebody who's 6...
Hey, I'm 6 foot.
That's what I mean. So when you see Steve Kuclo walking around, it's that's cool. Something we will want, we would be proud to have as a champion. So I really wish you good luck, Steve. I'm really looking forward to see you at the Olympia. I hope people buy the tickets, not only for you, but anything can happen. Yep. And we will be really rooting for you, Steve. We'll be really rooting for you. And I predict this will be a big year for you, Steve.
Yeah, I think we can all see that, Steve.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I do too. And you saying that means a lot. Yeah. It definitely adds some fuel to the fire. And, kind of hearing that, you're like, okay, that's just one more kind of level we're gonna push to, and I agree with you. I think Mr. Olympia should be a figure that somebody walking down the street or somebody can see, almost like a statue of a Greek god, where you're like,
no, superhero.
Yeah, like a superhero. I think they should be 6 foot tall, 285 pounds on stage.
Yes.
I totally agree.
So Steve Kuclo's Olympia champ and Lunsford as the 212. Thou make America bodybuilding great again. Yeah.
All right, then, Steve.
Okay, thank you.
I want to thank you so much for coming on. Big thank you to Dan Solomon for allowing us access to this incredible athlete. Like I said, it's been 8 years since I've interviewed you, so it was great to do this again. So
absolutely. Hey, if you want to do it again in a few weeks, or as we get closer and just get a little insight what's going on, I'd be down to do that.
Oh, that'd be great.
We'll maybe get your Olympia predictions in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll leak a few little photos, and we'll see what's going on.
Well, you've got my number now, Steve. So just WhatsApp those babies over.
Will your wife do the commentary this year also, or?
She hasn't been asked yet. I don't know if they're having a different production team do it, but if they do, I know she would love to do it, and she does it. She really
great
enjoys.
Job she does
enjoys it.
She's very good at the Arnold. Very good. Okay, then, Steve. All the best for the prep, mate. And like I said, once more, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Steve.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
There we go. Fantastic.
Thanks to Dan Solomon.
Yeah. Love you, bro.
Okay, so.
Yes.
So what do you think, Joss?
I think he's the one that will jump up this year. I think they... it's hard to say. Yes, I think if anyone has the potential to really jump up like a lot of placings, it's him. Height, structure... He's starting to nail the condition now. He's getting that muscle maturity. He's the perfect age. Him and his Amanda are they're marketable. Those are the kind of people that they want to see do well, want to see move up. They're good on social media. They market themselves well. They present themselves well.
Last year he got what place?
I can't remember.
He's in the top 10, but I don't remember.
I think he's going to move up this year. So let's see if he moves up good.
I'm really excited.
Yes.
I'm really excited for Kuclo. He's just a fresh, he's just so fresh,
I mean, that's a guy 6 weeks out for Olympia, and look at his energy levels. He looks healthy, always tanned, and
huge shoulders, wide.
He just needs a cape. That's all he needs.
We need a Brandon Currie, Steve Kuclo. Like, we need some
battle.
It's going to be hard, though. We still got Bonac, we still got Rolly Winkler, we still got Dexter Jackson.
Amazing. This Olympia is going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be a real different Olympia, but I think it's going to be a very special Olympia.
We wish the best for Steve Kuclo. We want to see him in that top 5.
Top 5, I think that's achievable. Very achievable.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. Big thank you to Steve Kuclo there. We'll be right back after the ad break with our next guest on Global Muscle Radio. And we're out.
Rolling.
And welcome back to MD Global Muscle Radio here at the Pump Meter Studios, joined by my co-host AJ, all the way from Norway, and with our final guest for episode 31, our comeback episode, we have Antoine Vaillant, all the way from
Canada.
Yeah! Even though I thought it was Florida last time.
And you got some amazing booty gains, by the way.
Booty gains.
Oh, haven't you seen Antoine with them? I thought it was Kim Kardashian. They're not so up, and it was Antoine. Popping.
Yeah, you know what's funny? You're talking about a picture, right?
Yes. On Instagram, yeah.
Booty gains.
Me and Regan did that, and
Regan,
Regan said, "Look where it ended up," and then he sends me an account of an Instagram called Muscle Beefcakes.
Oh no!
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Antoine, the muscle beefcake.
We're on this page called
Antoine, what sort of website's that?
wait, let me see. Let me find it.
Giles Clay Green is on that every day, yeah?
There it is. It's called Beefcakes Men.
Oh.
Does that involve beef or? My eyes!
So I'm like, oh my god, we've made it, Regan.
Finally.
Yeah,
Right, so enough about men's booties.
Most important there, how's your arm?
Yeah.
Oh, my arm is getting a little better.
Yay, that's great. Looking good. Did they reattach it nicely, or?
Huh?
They reattached it well, or? Oh,
Yeah.
Not too bad.
The scars are not too bad.
Yeah,
No, look.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm a bit more peaked than before.
Yeah, because it shortens, doesn't it? So it makes it like more.
Yeah, a little bit, but there's an inch difference in between the two right now. Mm-hmm. So cold, this one I'm like 20 and a half. This one I was 19 and a half last time I measured.
Oh, okay.
But I just started doing light curls with like 10 pounds, 12 pounds, isometric, on the preacher, just isometric, and I'm doing back rows and stuff with the machines, very light though, everything light. But I'm just taking my time. Now, right now it's kind of sore because they said I pushed it.
Yeah.
So I try to take it really easy. Like I could do so much more. Like my strength is like, I could do so much more, but I'm always doing less than what I think I could do.
That's the best way though, because I remember speaking to Branch Warren in 2012 when he did the comeback and won the Arnold Classic 2012, and he'd torn his both his quads, wasn't it? And he said that actually the tendon actually does grow back stronger.
Yeah, well, I think it takes. The doctor said it's going to take over a year for the tendon to be full repair. But if it's like, that's for a normal person, right? For me, I think by November it might be 75%, and that means I can train, for a show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're looking at Arnold Classic year 2020 then.
That'd be good.
Well, the thing is that Mr. Singerman with Redcon One is the main sponsor of the show, right? So I think maybe that's how Mr. Luke Sandow got his invite. I don't know, but if I can get an invite, if I can get an invite in November, I'm good to train for a prep. My arm's almost the same size, and I can get a pump everywhere pretty good. I would do it on a classic.
Because we need Antoine in a big show now.
Step up.
We need you in a big show now,
especially
Antoine.
Come back with a bicep
and you got all the younger guys like Sergio and those guys want to do it. It's time to make a statement when you come back, Antoine.
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of cool because I fucked up the arm, and then I was going to do the New York and the Toronto, And now people said, "Oh, he fucked up his arm. Then it's gonna take a while to recover." And then I would come back at the second biggest show in the world.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool, and it would motivate me to work really hard and be very strict, because I've been super strict with diet and stuff like that. I didn't stop training since the injury, and I just did everything that I could. I've ate, and I started dieting like a month ago, like really well, like around 90% strict, like prep.
Good.
So
Your body will heal better, though. Your body will heal better if you're giving it makes sense. More better nutrients, the better the healing.
Yeah.
And
inflammation food, or
So I'm a little bit lighter than usual, because I was like over 300 pounds over a month ago.
Big guy, yeah.
But I was like, I told Doran, like, maybe it would be good like to clean up the diet a little bit, especially when I saw like Hadi Choopan compete at the Vancouver. I was like, man, I gotta start being more strict. This guy looks like a fucking militant soldier guy. So I went home and I started dieting down, and this morning I was like 285.
Wow, that's good. I've seen you you're not holding a lot of body fat, really. You're still pretty lean,
Do you do cardio and things like that still, or?
Every morning I do fasted 30 minutes. Yeah. Except today, I'm going to do it later, but usually I always do fasted 30 minutes, and the days I don't work out, I do 45, and on my leg day, I don't do it.
Yeah. With like recovery, I mean, the UK, I know a few bodybuilders that have had muscle detachments, they've had tendon detachments, injuries, and they've used certain things like peptides and certain things and certain supplements to kind of increase the healing. I mean, I've spoke to some top names about this. Did you indulge? Well, indulge. Use any? You indulge? Did you dabble with anything like that, or use anything to aid your recovery?
Well, it's funny because I've heard about it even from doctors.
Yeah.
That it works. So I'm just doing everything that's available to feel better, to get better quickly. Yeah. So everything that's out there, I'm probably doing it for recovery. Yeah.
Speaking of Reagan Grimes, what's his next move, by the way?
Romania.
Oh,
wow. I've seen that actually. Yeah, because we're going to be going to that one.
Open class, correct?
13 weeks. Yeah, open.
Cool. Because we're going there. Will be great.
Are you happy he's back to the open from the classic?
Yeah.
Come on.
Because I don't know if you ever seen him in real life.
Yeah.
Big guy, yeah.
He's wide like that. This guy is like he doesn't have a structure for classic. He's an open guy.
I didn't like him as a classic when I saw him with Olympia. I just think his body looked like lifeless. It just didn't have any pop.
Yeah, no, right now I just train with chest with him, actually. He's still at the gym because I had to leave for this interview here, but...
sorry, Reagan. No,
it's okay. He was late anyway, so... Yeah, so we worked out together, and he's looking pretty good. And for 13 weeks out, is the best he's looked. Because the thing is, before he would be sloppy all the way up to like 8 weeks out.
He was getting a little bit big in the offseason.
Yeah, then he would crash diet. Okay. But right now he's started at 17 or 18 weeks out.
Wow! Fantastic.
So he's starting to get really hard right now, and since we have the same coach now, it's like what I do. So we diet hard first. We lose a little bit of water very quick, and we don't look as good for the first few weeks. But at 13 weeks out, 12 weeks out, we start looking hard, and then we can have more high carb days, and then we can gauge ourselves like that. And he's gonna get shredded hard pretty quick.
Do you do 16 weeks preps or?
Me?
Yeah.
I did 17 weeks out of Toronto. I started, and but I was ready like in advance, so that's why I was going to jump in New York.
You look so good, mate. Because you tore the bicep. Was it 2-3 weeks out or something? 2 weeks out?
It was 2 weeks out from New York.
Oh, I remember you were looking so good.
Oh, we don't want to talk about that.
You posted a picture the other day, and it was like a hands class most muscular in the gym, and I was like, he looks so good.
No, we don't want to speak about that. What about Quinton? Are you impressed by his, Quinton Araya? You guys in your gym? How are you happy with his progress?
Of course.
Oh, very, very. Right now he's having some leisure time in Calgary with his girlfriend there, and so he's just hanging out. He was over 300 pounds because I had a bet with him. I said, Quinton, I bet within a few weeks you'll be 300 pounds. He said, no, I won't eat too crazy. I'm gonna control myself. I'm like,
No.
Never works. And now you just text me a few days ago, you won the bet. I'm like 3-0 something.
I mean, we spoke a little bit in the last time you came on Global Muscle about how Canadian bodybuilding is in a very good place right now, because we had guys like Joe Seaman, who took 4th in Toronto, and guys like yourself and Quinton and Regan. It's like, do you think Canadian bodybuilding is in a really good place?
I was talking about that with Doran, and I think that the Canadian bodybuilders are going to be really good in the near future.
Why?
Like really good. Like why? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of quality guys coming out of Canada soon, and because we already have Ian, he's the most active one.
Vaillant, of course.
Yeah. He's especially the last show. I think you looked at his best in the last show.
Very good.
And
he's working with Patrick Tour now. He's working with Patrick Tour now.
Is he qualified with the points?
No, sadly, no.
Not this year.
Oh, he's not?
No.
That's too bad. I think he deserves to be up there. Yeah. But, so there's him. And we have Quinton, who's really good. And Regan, who's, also very good. And I think if he gets super shredded, he can win the Romania. Because this guy has a good combination. He's he has very nice lines. And if he gets shredded with those nice lines, I think it's kind of hard to beat if the size is there, right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you think his upper body's a bit more? Because I remember seeing him do the Open at the 2017 Tampa, and he was very lower heavy. And then obviously last year he did, switch to classic and everything. So I think a really balanced version of him, shredded, I think that would be really deadly.
Max Charles is coming for that. He's defending his title, by the way.
Where?
In Romania?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Regan's going to smoke him.
Oh, Max, don't listen to this.
Okay, but I if you look at both physiques, you're like, who do I want to look like?
Yeah.
I'd rather look like Regan. It's more my type of physique, which is big, nice lines, balance, and just a nice body,
Yeah.
Like Max Charles, I can't relate to him as much.
Okay.
It's not because he's not good. I mean, if he arrives super fucking jacked and shredded, more than Regan, he might beat Regan.
Yeah.
But in my head, if Regan comes the way I picture him coming, I think he's going to be hard to beat.
And Jeff Beckham has promised he's going to diet this time and he's going to do the Romania too. Jeff Beckham, So
yeah, I don't know what's up with this guy. Jeff Beckham, I saw him at the Toronto one year.
Oh yeah, he lives in Canada.
He was in the top 5, right? He was in the top 5 at Toronto. I think was it 2 years ago?
He was great 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I know. I was like, who's that guy?
Big and wide legs and
And then every time he competes now, he's I don't know. It's like he's doing it as a hobby or something.
Yeah. It's
right.
Well, he's got the structure, he's got the muscle, so just needs.
Dude, if that guy arrives shredded, he's gonna go up a few spots for sure.
Just needs to get his ass in condition.
So right now, who's doing Romania? That you guys know?
We will find you all the guys by next week and send you on DMM so you can inform Regan what.
Okay, so I'll let Regan know to give him some motivation there.
Yeah.
I think Cody Montgomery was going to do it.
Is he doing that? But he's doing 212 Open Classic. What's he doing?
I think he's doing Open.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what Regan told me, but I don't know if it's true. But
have you seen pictures?
Have
you seen any picture of Cody last year?
No. If Cody can arrive top 5 Arnold Classic, was very good. Remember when he got top 5 at the Arnold Classic?
No, he's never.
He's never done that.
No, he's never done that. No.
What?
No, come on now. Never.
I think you've.
No.
You're getting him mixed up with somebody else.
You saw somebody else.
Is that Steve Kuclo you're thinking of?
No. You never saw that?
Which Arnold though? Which Arnold?
No, but he's never gotten no top 5 at Arnold. He beat Tony Freeman, remember? But he wasn't top 5. Freeman was out of the top 13 or whatever.
I think you're thinking of maybe one of the Arnold Brazils or something.
Well, what is it then? Cody Montgomery is on stage at the Arnold Classic right now, on this picture.
Nope.
Yeah, but he didn't get no top 5.
Oh, no, pretty much.
But he didn't get top 5.
I thought he was top 6 at least.
No,
definitely not. So Antoine.
Yeah.
Who else is worth?
He's checking, really checking.
He's loving it.
No. He was never
You sure about that?
100%. Aren't we 100%?
I would bet my left kidney on it.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? It's not worth anything, that kidney now, is it?
Yeah.
It's a bit fried.
That kidney.
That's no use to me, that one.
Yeah.
Hey, from my 20s.
But We want some Olympia predictions now from Antoine, don't we? Or do you want to ask something else?
I just wanted to ask, is there anybody else worth talking about that's from Canada? Apart from Jordan Peterson.
Let's see.
Any bikini girls?
Oh, there's Reagan, there's Quinton. We also...
Joe Seaman,
yeah, he had a good showing there. But you know Steve Didoshak, he's an amateur.
Steve?
Yeah, because... what's his name? Shit. So Cody Drobot beat him for the overall.
Okay.
And he won the Vancouver Amateur Pro Qualifier. But Steve Didoshak, in my opinion, looked a lot better.
Okay.
And he didn't get it because I guess, you know, I'm not a judge, but if I was, I would have put him ahead. And he would be a really good 212. So I'll try to find a picture right now. I'll just show you. So that guy is doing the Toronto, the National, in October. And
is that the Canadian Nationals or the American?
Can you write this down?
Nationals,
Can you write this down, Chris, so we can give him a shout out later? This guy, he shows us.
see that?
Oh, wow. I think I've seen this guy before. Wow.
Oh,
look at that.
wow.
He's like a proper...
What's his name so we can give him a proper shout out on the show?
It's Didoshak. SDIDOSHAK.
What?
Stedo Shack.
Did you get that, Chris?
Steve. Get his phone there.
So we just so people at home, we don't just show people at home.
Yeah. Well, okay, maybe you can see the name there. See that?
Oh, yeah. Hang on.
Do you see?
Just hold it back. Hold it back.
Hold it back.
Hold it back.
Do you see it, Chris?
I can't see that. Oh, no. Lost it now.
Just spell it out. Just spell out one last time.
SDIDOSHAK.
Stedo Shack.
Didoshak.
That's a interesting name.
What about on the girls' side from Canada? Is there something in any class to focus on?
Well, isn't she Loralie doing the bikini?
Of course, that's our favorite bikini girl. Chapados.
Yeah. Miss Chapadas.
Yeah, very good. Very
We
good.
love Laura. She's ace.
I don't know who. I think she might win.
Yes, she might win.
Because she's looking very good right now, and the mistake she did last time was she was too skinny. I don't think she's gonna be like that anymore.
No. She's very good. She's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, and we also have in the fitness, we have our friend here back home. She's called Jodie Bone.
Okay.
She won Fitness Toronto, and she will be top contender for the Olympia Fitness.
Missy.
The
Missy
flipping
Canadian?
stuff.
Sorry, is Missy Canadian?
Missy Farrell.
Missy Farrell, yeah. I'm sure she's Canadian. Sure she's
I
from
don't know.
Canada. Sure, anyway, sorry. Yeah.
So the Olympia, 5.5 weeks. Antoine, we want your top 5 in the open class.
In order?
In order. This is Antoine, top 5 open class, Mr. Olympia
Well,
first.
I'll go top 10.
Well, is Shawn and Phil doing it or no?
No.
No.
They're not doing it.
No.
No, I wouldn't let him. He's still he's prepping.
But he's not doing it. No.
Oh, it's a shame.
And Phil either is not doing it?
No.
No. He's...
You sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We seen him eating a burger yesterday. No, I didn't. Joking.
Okay. Well, okay then. I believe, looking at the Arnold Classic of last year, I think Brendan Currie first. Mm-hmm. I think
We like that.
Yeah.
Rolly second.
Very
yeah,
possible. Yeah. Yes.
Because he's gonna arrive shredded, but it's not gonna be his back is not gonna be as good to beat Brendan.
No. Yeah.
Right.
Agree.
Okay, and his legs from the back are not good. Mm-hmm. So and then, well, they're not good, but you know what I mean. But and then third place will be Dexter.
Oh,
really?
You got him beating Bonac.
Yeah.
Why?
Actually, I don't know. I don't anymore. or actually, fuck. You know what? I'm gonna predict that Rolly is not gonna be good,
Right.
and he's gonna be fourth.
Oh.
Okay.
And second place is gonna be.
Come on.
William
William
and
second.
then Dexter,
William
and then
second.
Rolly. Who's the fifth guy? Who's the?
We got a guy we just had on that we hope you're gonna say, but don't let's say CB says it.
No, we're not saying. Sorry, we can't say.
Okay, we're gonna give you. Who do you think who's gonna go in fifth? Who's gonna come in fifth? He's big and tall,
Very handsome.
very handsome.
Big, tall, and handsome.
Yeah.
Ooh la la.
Yes, it's not me or AJ.
He's big, tall, and handsome, and he's a top contender. Is he?
Yeah.
Well, I think he'll move. We think everyone thinks he'll move up this year. Let's put it that way.
Huh. I have a memory blank.
Okay.
What about Steve Kuclo?
Okay, name the other guys. Name the other guys. I don't have any.
Nathan Asha.
Nathan Asha.
Is he doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Patrick Moore.
Patrick Moore.
John De La Rosa.
De La Rosa.
Juan Morel. It's not much.
Luke Sandow.
Luke Sandow.
Do you think he can make top 6?
Yes, he will.
Right,
You think so?
I think so because he just was right behind Dex. He got a call out with Dex.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be right around where Dex is, maybe just below him.
Who
Yeah.
else is there?
I don't think Steve will be. Fuck. I don't know. Steve is like the thing with Steve is that he's so big and hard, like all fold up. But it's like if he's relaxed or when he poses,
Yeah.
Too different. Yeah.
there's not a lot of difference. But where there's guys who have like more loose muscle and they contract, you see all the fibers moving, kind of like like Phil Heath when he flexes.
Yeah.
You see it move and come alive.
So
I think Steve is so big is that he's gonna beat the guy because he's hard and huge. But it's like I think his muscle they don't move, the way they flex. I don't like it as much. But he's like an awesome bodybuilder and he's better than me. So
so if Steve Kuclo isn't the wild card to really jump up, who could be?
Yeah, maybe Luke Sandow. Huh?
I think Luke
You like
Just
Luke
because-
over Nathan?
over Nathan.
Yeah.
His physique.
Yeah, not personality. No.
I think because I think I like Luke's better a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit because Nathan's legs, they just need a little bit of work there. But then again, the thing with Luke, I find that Luke was good at the Arnold Classic, and he was good last weekend.
So he's
Other than those, I would put Nathan ahead.
so
Nathan at Vancouver was really good,
Yeah.
and then the show before that, he was also even better.
yes.
Were
Right?
you, yeah,
British
yeah,
show,
yeah, yeah,
British
yeah.
show.
British Grand Prix.
I think Nathan is more consistent.
Yeah,
Luke-
guaranteed.
Because if Luke is flat or bloated, he goes down like 4
Yeah,
spots.
he falls right down, tumbles down.
If Nathan is off, he goes down a little bit. It's not as a bigger gap, right?
Yeah.
And Nathan's not going to come in
I
off.
think both are, if they're both on,
Yeah.
I think, because I've seen Luke live, right? He was really impressive.
Yeah. The Arnold.
The Arnold Classic. Yeah.
That was
And
like if he can peak like that again, it's difficult to peak that much, that well to that level twice in a year.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
really,
know.
you get that one time, and then it's usually once a year. That kind of, but hopefully those are the
Yeah.
kind of times.
Because-
That's the look you want to peak like at the Olympia, though, isn't it?
Yeah, because what happened last time where he peaked really good in March,
Yes.
the next show after that, he wasn't good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was Australia though. It's travel to, isn't it?
He just peaked last weekend, so you got to peak again in 1 month. Is it going to be as good?
I don't think he was.
No.
peaked
He
last
wasn't. No, he
weekend.
didn't peak last
No,
week.
no.
He didn't. Not compared to the Arnold. It was about 15.
No, of course not. But he was still pretty good.
Yeah.
But I find he was better 2 days out.
Right. Yeah. The hotel lights though, you can always look a lot better, can't you?
Because you were in Vancouver, or were you in Vancouver?
Yeah, I was in a crowd.
How did you react to Hadi Choopan? Were you impressed?
This guy probably impressed me the most of all the bodybuilders I've seen in a long time.
Yes.
Dude, this guy,
Shocking.
How did he? Yeah.
he showed up on stage. You say he would hit a front double. It would stay perfect from head to toe the whole 10 seconds.
Wow.
He was in control of everything. He wasn't like he wasn't like moving around, like breathing. It was just like poof. It's like he looked like he practiced 4 hours a day, every day.
He's looking like he's like a little action figure. It's just so
he
like a little He-Man doll, and he's incredible, absolutely incredible.
He was like the professional.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the. If you look at like what a professional bodybuilder is, or looks like, or is like on stage, as far as like hitting the shots, is Hadi Choopan. Yeah. He was very good.
It reminds me of that Roland Sherlock from the 90s. Do you remember him? He only did a couple of shows.
I didn't remember
the little German guy, the Roland Sherlock.
German guy, yeah.
He reminds me of him, the way everything's just popping and everything's like tensed and hard and granite. And
do you see him? Could he win this Olympia? Because you saw him in the flesh. Could he beat Brandon Currie?
Fuck. Because the thing is, I think he really smoked everybody at that show.
That's what.
And it was a pretty good show, right? Nathan was there.
Ian was there. Yeah, Lucas Usladil.
Good standard.
Yeah. But I don't know how he would stack up against the... Because the thing is, you look very big, though. I just wonder how big Brendan's going to look.
Yeah.
He's gonna
He
be
looks
huge.
pretty big.
Well, you Hadi's about 100. You know,
Yeah, I'm just waiting.
get excited.
Get excited for Currie.
Hadi's about 100 kilo, and then
I've heard
Brandon's
two
about 240.
I've heard two things about Hadi. Either he weighed 222 or he was 215.
Right.
One or the other.
Well, I know when I saw him at San Marino in 2017, he was 101 kilo, which is 222. The thing is, in this one now in Vancouver, his waistline looks smaller, so maybe he's lighter and everything's just popping more, you know. So it's all an illusion, isn't it? I mean, he's only 3 pounds over 212 if he's 215.
And do you follow the classic class? We want your predictions there. Do you follow classics? Classic class?
Little bit, because I've got two guys I know. One of my friends, Khaled Chikawi, is competing.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, he's good.
I really liked him at the Arnold Classic, mate. I thought he was fantastic.
So give us your classic top 5, please.
Classic top 5. I don't know enough about top 5 classic.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But I want my friend Khaled to do it, because my friend Khaled last year,
He's good.
he was very good. You would put him beside Bumstead. He was probably better than Bumstead.
He got overlooked.
But because I think because he's like it was first Olympia, he was like in the last.
He's brilliant.
In the last part. But I think because he did the Arnold Classic, he did a few shows. Now hopefully they know who he is. He's gonna bump up a lot of spots and be a top 5. I would like that. And we also have
Henri
Pierre.
Pierre Amo.
HP should be up there.
Yeah.
Up there. And also we have my coach Doran is training a guy called Antoine, but I call him Black Antoine because he's black, because I'm the white one.
Antoine.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But he's actually his name on Instagram is let's see. It's called his name is ivb.hightop.hamlet.
Okay.
He has a
The high top. Yeah. No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and he's a really good poser, and he worked very hard, and he won the which one did he win? He won Vancouver Classic.
Okay, cool.
So he's qualified. So we have this guy. Hopefully he's gonna, maybe get a top 10. That would be great. But I want Khaled, my friend, to do top 5, and HP. I think he's gonna make top 5 again. But the thing with HP, sometimes he's like, it's funny because he did that show there in Portugal, and he was on vacation for 1 week. He's like, I'm just gonna hang out for 1 week and
6-7 weeks after Olympia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like. I did that last year after Tampa. I was like, oh, really? Okay.
Wow.
He has really good genetics. I think if he can just rev it up the last 4 weeks, he's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't just be laid back 7 weeks out from the biggest show in the world. But that's just me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Antoine. I think you've given us everything we needed, mate. I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you. Obviously, you're going to be at the Olympia.
Yeah, I'm going to be at the Redcon 1 booth, and Frank McGrath is going to be there with me.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh. And, hopefully Brian Shaw's going to be there too. It's always nice to hang out.
Brian Shaw, the huge...
Oh, wow, yeah. Big guy.
So I'm going to be there with the Redcon 1 guys.
Are you doing interviews again?
Huh?
Are you doing the interviews like you were at the Arnold?
Oh, like I did, walking around?
Yeah.
With the sunglasses and
you're good, mate. You're good.
Pre-workout. And
Probably, because it's like, I'd rather do that than just like be behind a booth, right? Because now what happens is that I'm hanging out with Blessing, right? Blessing.
Blessing.
Yeah, so he's the popular guy. He has millions of followers, so everybody goes see him. I'm just in the back there, and I got a few people seeing me. But
I don't believe it. No.
He's like, I'd rather walk around and fucking entertain myself,
When is his debut? Blessing.
I don't know. He doesn't say.
No, because he's a Redcon athlete, correct?
He's not long been pro, really.
Yeah, but I think right now
it's time now.
He's only young.
No, he's not that young.
Yes, he is.
Blessing, isn't he 30?
Younger than me. I think he's like between my age and Regan's.
So 29 around there.
21.
Maybe, yeah. I'm assuming. But I think right now his plan, what it looks like it is, he's getting a lot of muscle, and he's waiting to be big enough in his head to compete.
Right,
Just
yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay,
because he wants to make an impact. He's got a big following.
Yeah,
So he wants to, there's no rush. There's no rush.
Personally, I think if you would get shredded right now, he could probably win a show.
Yeah.
I think so.
He's like, well,
I think so.
Good,
he's done a great job, at least for his social media. The way he. So hats off to him.
Have you seen pictures of him when he won?
Yeah. In the Elite Pro.
Last time he was shredded, have you seen him on stage?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
He's good.
Wide shoulders, small waist.
But the competition weren't that good, so it's hard to tell exactly how good he was.
Yeah.
You know
Compared to people, you mean? Compared to people?
Yeah.
To pros.
Okay.
No, it was Elite,
Yeah.
the other federation. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
No, he wasn't elite though.
No, he won the. He won
He won the naturals. He won also a world show.
Yeah, he's won several like pro qualifying events to get his pro card. I mean, the gold was it the Gold Diamond Cup he won, and then obviously when the split happened, then I think that's when he got his pro card. But
he's a huge guy then, so you can only imagine now.
He won the Arnold Europe in 2017.
Yeah,
amateur. Because I got told off for interviewing him, and then he went and won the amateur Arnold Europe, and they were like, "Ha, told you."
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, he's pretty good too. Yeah.
Okay, Antoine.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And we'll come over and say hi at the Redcon booth, and you can interview us.
And where can people follow you again? What's your YouTube channel? And because you keep that really updated, there's a lot of new content on that channel.
Yeah, well, it's youtube.com/Antoine, Antoine Vai. That's it.
Oh,
and yeah, that's my YouTube channel.
Okay. Also, I really liked that funny Dexter video you did with the visor.
Oh yeah!
Oh, I loved it. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
I won't spoil it, but go to Antoine's Instagram, Antoine Vaillant. Check out. Just have a search through, and there's a video where he gets he's watching Dexter, and he gets excited, and he orders something because he wants to be like Dexter. So you've got to check it out. It's very, very funny, very well produced. Yeah. It was very I'll give you a little right chuckle, that one, mate. I really love that.
Will there be any stand-up comedy or something from you in the future? You think? Have you ever tried that? You know, the stand-up comedy.
No one's gonna heckle him.
I get that sometimes, but to do stand up, it's so much work because you gotta write down bits. You gotta go try it out. You gotta bomb on stage. You gotta feel miserable. It's like you gotta put pretty much a lot of time into that. Yeah. That it's very different to be funny on stage as a stand-up comedian than to be funny goofing around with a camera. It's very different. And because I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan podcasts where I know a lot about stand-up. So it's like, wow.
That's your friend Joe Rogan? Yeah. That sounds good.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But sometimes I've thought, what I've thought about? I thought about writing bits and just saying it in my stories and see how people react to it.
Okay,
and then that could be a way I could start doing that. Or just like write down jokes and just save them in my videos. People wouldn't know that I wrote them down, but it would be like a test also.
Good test. Well, I just think you should stick to just the funny Instagram videos because you put a lot of thought and effort into them, and I love them. So I think that's what you should do, and then see how it goes. So. Okay, Antoine, we're going to let you go, mate. And thanks for being a guest again.
See you at the Olympia. See you at the Olympia.
See you, and keep with the rehab, mate, and the training and the arm and everything. And hope to see you back on stage very soon, mate.
Arnold Classic.
Arnold Classic 2020. Make it happen.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
Sounds good, right?
Yeah.
All right, Antoine. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye. There it is. Cool.
I think this Arnold Classic 2020 is going to be really good, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very good. Very good.
Is it true that Blessing is more popular than Antoine? Is that true? Antoine is very popular, isn't it?
Maybe Blessing's bought more followers. I don't believe these people can have that many followers. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm sorry.
Simon Panda's got 6 million now, eh? Simeon Panda, however you pronounce it.
That's great.
It's impressive.
Very impressive.
6 million, bro.
Is there even 6 million people in the world?
Not that like bodybuilding, that's for sure.
Exactly. No. I'm just I'm being flippant.
Antoine's in great mood, even though he's hurt now, recovering.
I followed all when it happened because I felt so bad for him because he's I was so gutted for him because he looked so good, and we were really looking forward to seeing him as like the next generation of guys moving up. So
he still can be.
Sorry,
he's still going to be that on the rise. Like,
yeah. I'll be back. Yeah, he really, he's got through it now. I was messaging him a few times and just to check on him, and he goes, "Oh, thanks for asking," and stuff like that. But he's a nice guy, like Antoine.
So refreshing personality, you know.
Yeah. The sport needs people like that. Sports needs as many people like that as possible. I hope you've enjoyed this episode 31. That was our final guest.
Steve Kuclo, Irene Anderson, Antoine Vaillant. I'm looking forward for this Olympia, bro.
Oh, yes, big time. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting, and we'll be back next week with Global Muscle Radio. And we are out.